What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the 3&D podcast. I'm Nabs, joined by my hosts Yoz and Moz.
Ooh, baby.
So today we've got a few topics. We have to speak about LeBron, his new podcast with JJ's.
Ooh,
We're going to speak about a lot of the action happening over the week, some of the historic events, as well as some crazy athletic displays that we have to address. We're also going to cover a few other topics. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. First up, LeBron and JJ podcast. Did everyone watch it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So initial thoughts. You want to kick it off? You're next to me. Start with you.
I don't know what my thoughts were. I was like, I don't know, personally, I don't like LeBron James. So I was trying to find ways to hate it.
Hater.
But I don't know. They both bring up some interesting topics and discussions. And the more I did find myself watching it, the more I was engaged. But it's the first episode, so there's going to be more to build on, I guess.
Yeah, so good, bad, otherwise.
What I found interesting with the opening or their intro with JJ Chips is is when he mentioned he's going to be talking about FIBA and basketball outside the NBA.
That was a long intro.
It was.
That was such a long intro.
The thumb up and thumb down and then thumb sideways and God knows where the thumb's going after that.
It is.
So he's been talking to The Rock too much. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see what the topics are going to be outside the NBA.
Yeah. Yours? What do you got?
Look, I think it's brilliant. I think
How did you feel about LeBron watching LeBron?
Look, I thought it was a bit of a, shift the narrative again, because there's a lot of things going on at the moment that aren't getting coverage. Right. But at the same time, I think that when JJ came out and made that claim, a few weeks back that we spoke about people that want to be educated on the game, and then you have the people that love the clickbait, et cetera, et cetera. I think he jumped at that and said, oh, yeah, this is my perfect time to take over where Kobe was. I mean, Kobe had literally started doing game breakdowns and educational videos.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, and the way he did it was purely the game. He was talking about.
Let's stay with the podcast first.
Yeah.
So the podcast as it is as a whole, what did you think of it? Like, how did you find it? Like, was it engaging? Is it something you would watch? Is it a good thing? Bad? Otherwise?
I would watch it if it wasn't LeBron James. And it's not purely for any other reason that LeBron James, like, I'm pretty much at my wit's end with him outside of basketball. I don't want him controlling media narratives and that's what he's trying to do now to solidify when he retires his reputation. He doesn't want anything to tarnish it in these last few years, and that's fair enough. Mm-hmm. You're one of the greatest to ever play the game. You want to protect your legacy.
So how did you find the content that they had? Like,
it was good.
They had the breakdowns.
There was parts where, like, for example, when he's talking about who are the most three revolutionary players.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that.
Bullshit.
No, sorry. What was that? Three
revolutionary players.
Three players that had the most influence. Who had most influence on the game.
Yeah.
You're a bullshit artist. Like, let's be real. You're a liar. You haven't mentioned Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
by not mentioning Michael Jordan, you have clearly made yourself evident as a hater. Like, everything you said then is null and void because you're showing your true colors. How is the most influential player not Michael Jordan? How?
I agree. With that. They gave him a quick shout out. It was like 2 seconds.
No, but he made it look to say, look, we all know what Mike did. Yeah. How about you explain what he did? Because you might be wearing a sleeve and a tattoo and walking like a gangster now, but I can guarantee you, AI didn't.
What number was he wearing when he came to the league?
He's still wearing a number.
Exactly. So
and at the end of the day, Jordans put on a global scale.
His sons wear Jordans.
But the most influential player, hands down, has always been Michael Jordan. It's not being a Michael Jordan fan to say. Anybody will tell you. Anybody, non-basketball, basketball players, most influential. Stephen Curry, I can understand you throwing him in there because what he's done for the game as well is similar to the scale, but not that similar. He just changed the way you're playing the game.
Ruined the game.
Yeah, well,
yes and no.
Yeah, no.
Yes
Like
and no.
some players should be able to get away with doing that. You shouldn't give carte blanche to every player in the league to shoot 23s a game. Like because
100%.
some guys are just
But
trash,
garbage. Outside the
Garbage.
NBA,
we done.
if we go outside the NBA to your local outdoor court, he bring people to the game that wouldn't have usually come and played.
Stature, athleticism.
Like the
They would have been
shorter,
lacking all of
skinny.
this.
100%. Look, 100%. There's that era
Gave him a
of
hope.
he gave the
Gave
small
him
ball
chance.
hope again, which is shifting away again.
Yes.
It was like a
And
small
I'll be
period.
honest, I'm not a shorter. I mean, in the basketball
comparison.
terms, I could be considered short, but I'm not necessarily a shorter person. But with my injury, I didn't want to come back to basketball. And then when I saw Curry, I started getting back into it. I'm like,
Missed ankles.
I can do that.
Yeah. But it's right.
crazy.
Look, Stephen Curry is very influential. One of the most influential players ever.
Yeah.
LeBron James, unfortunately, you didn't put yourself in there because you're not. You didn't change the game. You didn't influence anybody to play any certain way.
I'm sorry, but you're not Mr. Humble. You've done it on your other podcast where you've called yourself the greatest.
Yeah.
Oh, when
The
I
goat.
realized
goat.
I was the goat. No, come on, man. Come on.
Get
That's
the-
conceited.
Look,
You're better than
I
that.
can't think of
And
one
that's it.
example.
But
You're
that's
one of
it.
the best players ever
That's
to
right.
play the game. You're better than that, man. Stop having this inferiority complex where you have to chase. Anyway.
but that's it. We acknowledge, and it's not, oh, we're saying this to say this. Not at all. You're amazing. You are one of the greatest people to ever touch the ball. But you're a cringe to watch.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
Outside of the game, we know you're full of shit. We know right now the media is not covering like they would anybody else
The
your
other
steroids
issues.
use or the steroid stories that are going everywhere. They're all being buried. And now you're changing the narrative again.
So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the podcast. Just so we can, I want to get to a couple of points about it. So did you want to say something?
Yeah, so with the podcast, what I initially thought
Hang
he
on,
was going to talk to.
Let me give my opinion of the
Okay,
podcast
so-
first, and then. So I watched it. I watched it as soon as it was launched. As soon as it was,
Right.
when I saw the media hype about it, I was genuinely interested, and it was right up my alley. I know we all do. I love the X's and O's. I love getting in depth with the technical side
Yes.
of basketball, the game within the game, and all these things, the breakdowns. I love it. I thought the concept was absolutely amazing. JJ Redick is always talking. I like the way he talks about the game. I think from a perspective where he's a student of the game but lacks the accolades in the grand scheme of things, he's definitely a good player and accomplished player. But in the grand scheme of things, he's not, the ones. And that I
he
thought
was a role player.
He was in
That's it.
college.
I thought
Yeah,
there was.
in the NBA.
I didn't have a problem with him being being part of that podcast. And LeBron, we always talk about how the narrative is how he's a mastermind of the game, and how he reads the game, and we do see it. Le GM, Le Coach. He's got all those nicknames, and he does live up to those things. I do agree to some degree. And to have him talk about the game and to give us an insight, I was really looking forward to that. I thought it was a little bit lackluster. I thought the way that they approached it, look, it's the first episode. It's hard to judge the whole thing over the first episode.
Yeah.
And there's probably more to come. So I don't want to get too caught up with, how little they touched on things and whatever. And maybe there's things that he doesn't want to talk about because playoffs is coming up. They've got, strategic things that they probably don't want to share, perhaps. I don't know. But I felt like there was probably more that could have been said, done, delved into. And there was, as much as I did enjoy it, there was a point, and I can't remember exactly which point, where I stopped and I went, it's a little bit distasteful, a little bit
Can't take a guess
conceited,
which point?
which I can't remember.
Is this the point where he started pouring the wine and goes, let's celebrate?
No, it was more like the way that they acted as if they were the bastions of knowledge of
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
The smugness.
Like it came about that way where
Snobbiness.
Smug.
you have to be at this table.
Yeah.
This is a table, and
we're up here. We're up here while you were all peasants down there.
Yes.
You don't know the game.
That
He
felt
calls
to
himself
me.
the king for that reason.
So that felt to me, and also leading up to it. I mean, we can get into the whole, the whole side of why it came about, how it came about, when it came about. Like you could see everything was driving in this direction, where the entertainment was moving towards a more substantive, informative realm or domain. When with Draymond Green, shout out to Draymond Green, when he started, the podcast, he gave us an insight into what players
mind,
like.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just him. Matisse Thybulle did it before as well, taking us behind the scenes of what happens,
Jalen Rose.
Olympics. They were starting these things.
Yeah.
And then it was a logical conclusion to get to the coaching and the X's and O's on the field, on the court. So I do like that. I like that they've done that. The only thing is, I felt like LeBron skipped a step. I think everything was laid out for him.
So he does. He does it on purpose.
It was laid out.
He doesn't want to
him.
have the problem of arranging and organizing it all. He knows. All right, JJ Redick, very smart. He can do the work for me. He can be my mouthpiece off the court. He's very, very clever, very strategic how he skips his steps.
And with that, look, they've been very, very successful with the first episode, and so they should be. You've got a big name
2.3
like
mil almost views.
Yeah, but the reason I wanted to say all that was to get to the next question, and I know what you want to say, and we'll get to that. That one I want to leave till the end.
No, I want to touch on his point. I was going to address, I thought you were going to bring up his 3 smartest players.
His 3 smartest plays.
Players.
No,
I was literally talking
Do you remember
about
that?
the influential players, but because
Yeah, but I thought you were going to bring up that one.
yeah.
With,
No.
You don't agree with that either, do you?
No, for me, I don't know them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I can see as a fan, and I lived through that era, who was more influential,
Yeah.
but not knowing a player personally and
named
understanding their understanding of the game, I can't make that judgment if they are or not.
You
Rajon
mentioned
Rondo. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned
Who did JJ mention? Was Luka mentioned?
No.
I think it was just the one name, but I think he
But
was
Rondo is
asked
one of
to-
the smartest players, 100%. His IQ, he'll be a coach one day.
So that's the point I want to get to now. So would there have been better people to do this type of style of podcast? And if so, who would you have doing it? So I'll start with
Yoz.
Yoz.
Well, LeBron James has to be the man to do it. It's a matter of who he does it with, because no one's going to garner that much attention as LeBron James. Face
At
it,
this current time.
yeah, he's on his way out of the league, and this is why I said smart move, trying to follow what Kobe was doing, because the hype that Kobe was getting for it, and he was doing on ESPN and stuff, and working in collaboration with the NBA, and we were all frothing over that. But it had to be LeBron James. It couldn't have been anyone else.
I disagree.
It's about who he does it with. Now, I thought it was like with Draymond, right? I thought it was a bit of a spit in the face that he didn't do it with Draymond. I mean, what did Draymond sign up for? He signed with Rich Paul, some Clutch Media, Clutch Sports.
So same management.
And what's the benefit he's getting out of this?
So Draymond Green, just to say, this is his direct quote. It came out shortly after the podcast. So I quote, "I'm a little upset that LeBron James is like going on the podcast and he still hasn't been on the Draymond Green show." Every time I say Draymond Green show now, I think of the skits of Riot Comedy. I'm Draymond Green from the Draymond Green show. So I'm a little upset that LeBron James is like going on podcasts and he still hasn't been on the Draymond Green show. When it's your own, you can't say anything, so I'll live with it for now.
He has a point.
Well, that
Because
makes sense,
he
yeah.
owns the podcast, Draymond Green.
But he signed. But the thing is, he signed up with LeBron James's agent,
He's
with LeBron
Clutch
James's
Sports.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Where is
There's
the
no
benefit for him?
benefit. Yeah,
It
it's
needs
so-
to benefit him.
So there was
agree.
a response. I don't think it was. I think it was much later. I can't.
He just
remember.
said what? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
from
yeah,
LeBron
one day I'll
James.
do it.
LeBron responded to a Sports Center interview or Instagram post. He knows I'm going to do his pod.
I think Draymond was more upset that he decided to do that type of podcast, not with him. Like it should have been done.
I don't know
Yeah.
if they
With
can
someone
do
in
that though.
Why
That's
not?
the thing.
because he's a player still.
There's got to be some type of tampering there. There's got to be some type of rule where
No one wants Draymond Green. No one wants LeBron no more. Like,
no, there's got to be a line crossed there. Can you imagine when they're
done
talking
with LeBron
about,
James?
Oh, because the current players.
Yeah, imagine
Okay.
they're talking about strategies and things like that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
but tampering comes down to getting people to come play together, play with you,
No, but
not discussing.
I'm saying there could be a line crossed when you're talking in
But-
that way, and you're giving a lot of information.
But there is someone that
don't
does
know. I
it
don't
with
know.
current players at the moment. You know who I'm talking to about?
Who?
Paul George.
Yeah, facts.
He
Facts.
brings current.
He's got a
players.
great
They're more
body.
like interviews. They're more like interviews.
Yeah, but they're from other teams.
Still,
I don't think it was that. I think LeBron was a strategist. He heard and saw the type of attention that
Opportunity,
was
yeah.
getting from what was said by JJ Redick, and he's like, "This is the perfect opportunity," and
So
he wasn't wrong.
Who would you have instead of JJ?
I would say stay with. I would say go to Draymond, man. I love watching Draymond Green. I do. I don't like watching JJ Redick. He has good takes sometimes, but sometimes he's far, far, far off. And it comes back to what you said. It's that smugness of we know better than everybody. And it's
Well, there was a player that came out. Who was it? Who was the player? It was an old player.
No idea.
He came out. Actually, no, I didn't tell you this. So it was on the Mace podcast. Cam actually
Shout out
mentioned-
to his podcast.
It
What's
is
it called?
It is what it is. Love it.
X-rated.
He
It
mentioned
is very X-rated.
Cam mentioned when he was speaking to there's a player that they're talking about getting into the league, into the podcast. He's actually starting soon. They're trialing him out. I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, this player, this ex-NBA player, they're testing him out on the It Is What It Is podcast. And when they approached him and they spoke about, he mentioned about JJ Redick, and he played with him, and he said he's the type of person that would call you an N-word,
No way.
like throwing shade, saying that he's proper redneck type of white guy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, look, I liked him as a player because I thought he was a perfect three-point shooting player. He was one of the best three-point shooters in college. He did really well throughout his career playing that spot-up shooter type of role.
He seems more gangster than that.
Yeah,
though.
as soon as he's retired,
that.
as soon as he's retired, he become a full flop, man.
But
Like,
what did I say? I'll bring this up the other day with you. I said, look how different these NBA players are acting, or ex-NBA players are acting after their careers.
trying to stay relevant, man.
Like, look, for example, Carmelo
what I-
Anthony. Throughout his whole career, he did not act like that, man.
But the podcast game, man, it's getting big, and hey, we're part of it now.
So back to the topic. You've got
So-
LeBron James.
And Draymond Green. So who would you?
But
have?
only because Draymond Green, to me, for me to watch, he seems more real as a person. He seems more. He'll just say how it is. How he like. You can have a discussion with him and think he seems down to earth.
Yeah.
You're not going to. It seems like there's
The podcast is
not
about the podcast is specifically mind. What is it? Mind in the game or mind of the game?
Mind of the game.
Mind of the game. So it's specifically talking about the strategies and the X's and O's.
That's what I
But,
said
but think about it. Who has more of that? Draymond Green or Redick, the spot-up shooter?
Yeah, exactly.
Draymond
he's
Green
also-
conducts the defense,
Yeah.
runs the offense,
And he,
plays with the greatest shooter of all
He
time,
bring up
Agreed.
his
played
name.
against the LeBron,
Agreed.
won,
He
won,
bring
won,
up
won.
his name.
Like, you have to think.
I agree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, JJ is behind the scenes. He is very accomplished in terms of
He is.
the basketball
Nuance.
fundamentals and the X's and O's from college all the way till now. Even now, he's still an AAU coach. I think.
But he was nothing special in the NBA. He was a good shooter
Be
to
that
have on
as
your
it may,
to
be
say
to have
that,
on your,
be
on your
that as it
team.
may, but some of the best coaches weren't great players.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying.
Phil
From
Jackson.
that, he wasn't a great player.
He won a championship as a player.
He wasn't a great player.
He won a championship as a player. He was a
Okay, but-
champion player.
Okay, but come on, man.
Not everyone wins
Anyway,
championships.
My point is,
True.
he does.
100%.
We didn't win our championship.
Yeah, where's
Katie
our
Grubb.
championship, man?
Yeah, grub.
Yeah, grab.
Bro.
So who would you have? Who would you have instead, or who would you like to see doing something similar to this?
So I would have said LeBron James, but after watching that podcast, I noticed one very major detail which is he doesn't know how to lead the podcast. So he needs someone to lead the podcast for him.
That's why.
Do you remember?
Yeah, but that's why we were saying like it was set up for him.
Yeah, so
and he knew that, okay, I can just step in here and leave.
It started off as if it was going to be an interview, and then as they got more comfortable with
casuality.
Each other, it got more casual. So for me, honestly, I'm gonna take a page out of LeBron's book and bring in one of the most influential players, Steph Curry.
Now that'd be a buddy gay fest, man. Like,
No.
How many times did LeBron go? I love Steph Curry.
I didn't say LeBron.
I love him. Did you hear that? How many times? I love him.
So you'd have Steph Curry and LeBron.
No,
who?
I'd have Steph Curry.
Klay Thompson.
No, not like Klay Thompson. So Steph Curry is my first choice. I haven't made my second choice yet.
You have that. This is not going to happen.
No, he'll come back to you once he gives his two choices.
For me, I think it's fine having both of them. I actually don't mind it. The reason why is I was thinking about this.
Who's both of them?
JJ and keeping it. The
Yeah,
same.
but who would you if you were choosing it from the start? If it hadn't happened yet?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think. I think it was a good pairing, honestly, and I'll tell you why. You can have really fundamentally sound, intelligent, high IQ players, but in front of the camera, you need someone who's able to make it engaging and entertaining.
Well, as what I just said,
I don't think Rondo, for example, or Chris Paul, CP, who I would like to hear more about their mental in the game, and
so they're the ones you would choose.
Yeah, as much as
but not for entertainment, for knowledge.
Exactly. So I don't think it's going to translate on camera.
Well, that's why I said it had to be LeBron.
That's why I said I don't mind having those two.
But I
think JJ is actually really, really good behind the camera, and it's very engaging. I actually enjoy watching a lot of JJ's podcasts.
You know, LeBron and Chris Paul might have been good, except the thing is...
So that's interesting that you say that. Again, it is what it is. They had this take. The thing that they said was, why didn't he get his banana boat buddies and have a powwow, over the game, the way that they're accomplished, in their own right. They've got all the accolades. And they're two of them are ex-NBA. So you're not going to have that type of collusion or anything. They didn't mention that. I'm just saying that. But the point is, they said, why didn't you get your buddies? Why are you going to White Boy?
Because he knows he'll be his mouthpiece. It's not only that. It's that same organization that funds, that donates to his podcast, puts to his podcast. I think they also are in donors to Stephen A. Smith's show, also donors to some of the other mainstream media shows. So it feels like
JJ's.
Yeah. So there's some donors that sponsor or give some sort of funding to his show. They also have their fingers in the Stephen A. Smith show. They also have their fingers in
Playbook. Is it Playbook?
I can't remember the name of it, but it was more of JJ Redick, who also goes on all these other outlets as well. It's a mouthpiece for LeBron.
Yeah,
to control that narrative.
I like JJ. I enjoy watching him on First Take and everything else. I think he keeps them honest, for the most part. He has some wild takes, but nothing major. Like, he's not a Kendrick Perkins. He's not wild and like Richard Jefferson or. But
Richard Jefferson's not wild. He's just a troll.
Yeah,
he's a comedian.
Fair enough.
And a ref, so you can't really like him.
So just to tie it all up. So just to tie it all up with the LeBron podcast. So would you have liked to have seen a different type of format? Has this ever been done? And what would you if it wasn't this, what would it be? So I know you mentioned something to me that got me thinking, and you mentioned it before as well about
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
with the detail. I would have loved to see this kind of format for him. Honestly, I think all three of us would have.
So tell us what was detail, because I think a lot of viewers might not even remember.
So detail is pretty much, if anyone watches basketball, they'll know the TNT crew: Shaq, Kenny, Chuck, and who's that white boy?
Ernie.
That guy.
He's the best.
Sullied by sponsorship.
Yeah, so they know that they have a segment where Kenny runs up to the board and draws up the plays and what they're going to do and whatnot. So Kobe Bryant expanded on that, and pretty much that highlight of the game of the week, he would break down the major plays for
Details.
the superstars. So I think the first episode was Jason Tatum, I believe, and he broke it down very, very well. Like,
Wasn't
it's
it
still
just before
relevant
the
to
playoffs? I think.
I love the Kevin Durant one.
Yeah, it was, all of it, all of it.
It was amazing. It
Yeah.
was
So
amazing.
for anyone that doesn't know, it's called Detail. It was aired on ESPN Plus.
It was brilliant. He was doing it
Buzz-
throughout the playoffs.
Yeah,
he was,
it was-
breaking down all the
it was
playoff games,
beautiful.
saying what they should have done, how they should have done it.
The thing is, I thought about this because Michelle and I, my wife and I, were talking about this, and Details was a visually geared
Yeah,
product.
you could see the lesson as he's teaching.
Yeah,
it.
It wasn't an audio style product.
No, it was on the fly.
So that's where I think there is a little bit of difference there.
That's
But
'cause-
you're right.
yeah.
The Details was absolutely, talk about the mind of the game.
That
That
was,
was genius.
Yeah.
Spotlighting the play, reversing, moving it forward, back in the timeline, breaking it down like properly.
like an average layman
and
could
what
understand it.
what would Kobe do in that situation as well?
Well, he did
And
an episode
that was
of
amazing.
Kobe, that playoff with Kobe and Carmelo, right? If I'm not mistaken. And he broke down how he had to play against Carmelo playing too physical against him.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. It was something that was a side of the game that we didn't get, in particular internationally, that we don't see.
I think it was, if the podcast was so much around as they are today, I think it would have been done in a different style. But I think at that time, and we're not even going that far back, man. Like just five,
crazy,
6
man.
years
Yeah, I
ago,
Yeah.
potties weren't around that much.
No.
And if they weren't amongst the NBA crews.
The game's changed.
Yeah. So, and it's more of being sick of the media and being able to have your own voice and express whatever you
Shout
want.
out Draymond, new
It's-
media.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
instead of having to be Kevin Durant with burner accounts, you can just get live on and say, "Hey,
Burner accounts.
that's not what happened.
Yeah.
This is
Troll.
da."
They're taking their own voices.
Yeah,
back,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
freedom of speech, man.
Just troll it IRL.
Yeah,
So to get back to my second pick,
Oh,
after
have
giving
one?
it much
Carmelo
thought-
Anthony.
Yeah, of course.
you
No,
can't
no.
say
No,
Kobe.
no way,
No,
because
you
he
can't
can't
say
play
Kobe.
ball.
So
man.
you
so
can't say Kobe.
to go to play
Yeah, he can't get
to
Kobe.
play on your point of
Go to the depths of
getting-
Jahannam.
or garnering attention and popularity around the show, along with Steph Curry, I'd have Shaq.
What?
So Steph and Shaq?
Yeah,
That was
Steph
be
and
the
Shaq.
worst two to break down again.
No.
game?
Stephen
So you
Curry
have-
literally just runs around, gets the ball, and shoots
So
from
you
half
have
court.
no,
He's
no.
not break your game down for you.
He'll break down the off-ball plays and
Yeah, but of other players,
But listen,
he just knows run around like Speedy Gonzalez.
You gotta justify Shaq.
I'm trying to.
Go.
So
G7.
my thought process here is having someone speak of the game inside the paint and someone speak of the game outside the paint.
But
So
that
you
game's
get-
not in the paint anymore like
So
that.
you get both perspectives of the game. But but listen.
What's I going to say? Ruby go
No,
there.
going back to my first point of they're not just talking about NBA on this podcast. They're talking about basketball outside of the NBA as well.
Yeah, but what does Shaq know about anything outside NBA? Nothing.
Yeah, man.
Bro, no way.
Don't forget LSU or college basketball play FIBA rules.
You don't forget. How long ago was he playing in college?
But it doesn't matter. He's still training his kids. He has to.
Shaq's amazing. He was an amazing basketball player. He's
Yeah.
not a student of the game here.
I think he is. Man.
He
I
contradicts
think
himself constantly.
I think you underrate his knowledge of the game, man.
Yeah,
he has the worst takes.
I have to disagree. Honestly, I don't agree.
He's a unit. Like, I will
don't
never
agree.
take anything away from him.
Yeah.
Nah,
He's
man.
a baller. As he retired, he became a bitter, sour man.
Yeah, but he doesn't talk about his game. He talks about winning the championship, and he doesn't break down what he did inside the paint.
All he
This
did
is-
was catch the
and we've
ball and
never-
dunk.
Hang
No,
on.
no, no,
This
no.
is the same guy who literally a couple of days ago was talking about how I didn't need to practice.
Yeah.
I didn't need to do any of the.
I was just a specimen.
I just rock up. I just rock up to the game.
Yeah, but he still has to break down what he had to
I'm
do
with you.
in the
I'm
game.
with you, but when you're not around all
Like
the coaching, and
AI
everything
says,
else,
we're not talking about practice. We're talking about the game.
that's
Yeah,
the
but AI would
fundamentals.
control plays. Shaq wouldn't.
Yeah.
He'd stand in the key all day,
Yes and no.
ask for the ball, and dunk on people.
He did more than that.
That was the majority of things he did.
He did more than that.
I'm not
bro.
going to reduce his. He's a
That's
great-
not a
He's
reduce.
one of the. No,
You
I'm
couldn't
saying,
stop him doing that.
I'm saying I'm going to meet you halfway. I'm not going to. I agree. He is absolute specimen. He was a great player,
Woo woo.
and for his time, he was a great basketball.
But
mind.
think about it.
But I wouldn't want to hear him talk about the game. personally.
Shaq, get in the post.
Yeah, but remember
this,
I
do
said
that.
taking to his point of popularity.
That wasn't
But his
popularity.
yeah, but if
Like,
you look at
he-
Shaq's
he's
podcast,
If you
that's
know,
not
but
as
if you're
popular.
comparing LeBron and Shaq, this current climate,
Yeah, I
Shaq's
don't
not
know.
going to get you the views that LeBron will.
Yeah.
Shaq is everywhere. Bet with this app. Oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
now I'm
all
doing that.
over. He's-
Shaq full, baby.
That's what I mean. He's
Papa
popular.
Yeah,
He's
like-
popular.
Papa
I
John's.
have chicken subs.
But remember, you can't put. I don't know how Steph does podcasts, but at least with Shaq, you can have him leading the podcast.
I don't think so. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Even in his Big Shaq podcast, he brings in that guy LaFleur or whatever his name
Yeah.
is. What's his name?
He needs him to dictate
the same guy from
flow.
ESPN who's the host.
Did
He
you
brings
watch
him in.
the Kobe Bryant and Shaq?
The interview?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
different.
that's
That
a
was to make
long-form
it-
interview
that was
that
to
they
make
were prepared
amends.
for ages.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
shot.
but he still had to take the lead.
Yeah,
for
but
it.
there was no breakdown of
No,
basketball in
would've
that.
been- that would
No,
have been
I understand,
scripted
but
to
I'm
some
saying
degree.
taking. Yeah, but he can.
Yeah.
So was JJ? Didn't you see he had his paper? He'd script in front of
Yeah,
him.
no, what I mean was like you can't judge Shaq as the one who's controlling from something that's like that.
We can look at Shaq's body of work in the media and see, okay,
Fill up half a tank.
Yeah.
It'll get you further.
come on, man.
No, man. I like that.
Shaq.
I like the Curry and the
I
Shaq.
can't, like,
Look,
the
from a
longer
comedic
Shaq's...
perspective, I'm sure there'll be some nice, entertaining moments. But yeah, I wouldn't want to listen to him talk about the game.
I don't know if you're with me or not, but as Shaq has retired, and the longer he's been in the media, the more I've started to dislike him. I used to love him.
He's not very relatable either.
No.
From a basketball perspective,
He's
Like,
not. Chuck
Can you
is.
imagine all the kids, like you said? I mean, you've got Steph who can inspire the kids,
Right.
but then from Shaq's perspective, I mean, who are you inspiring?
I
really?
would have agreed with you had it not been for the new wave of centers coming in.
Well,
So
that
the-
throws him
the-
right out.
No, because listen, it's transitioning to a big man league.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
his type of understanding of what a big man
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
He never played that way. Never had anyone play that way.
In Orlando, he played. a little
If you were
No,
going to
not
use
like that.
an example,
bit.
you'd
coast to
have
coast,
Coast to coast and playing stretch are completely different. To be
Yeah,
able to
this-
dribble a ball down the
but
court
no
when
one
you're young
played
and
stretch
fit.
in that era.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if you're
So-
commentating on today's stretch center game,
No, but
can't
again,
really-
you're relating to just NBA.
no, but predominantly it would be about NBA. Predominantly.
No, he did say
Predominantly,
that.
even with the LeBron one, predominantly.
If they
was
did
NBA.
say it was going to be no, this was only first episode.
Yeah, but that's what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
It will be
Yeah,
mostly
It's an
anyway.
American show.
no.
They're going to touch on all basketball.
They're going to throw
But
in
they-
some
yeah,
WNBA.
but they're gonna
just
touch
for
about
the-
what they
Yeah, I don't
know.
know about WNBA.
They'll
man.
do it. They'll do it just for the.
But the
feminist thing.
FIBA and whatnot, you still have to relate to.
I don't
big
Yeah,
think-
men
they,
in that
they
I don't
will,
think
but they're
it'll be as big.
the majority audience is going to be
We'll see.
in NBA fans. Like, let's be real. Like, I would say I agree with you on the entertainment factor if you had said Chuck, because Chuck would make it hilarious,
With-
man.
with who? With
With
Kyrie?
Draymond,
Oh,
Chuck and Draymond,
yeah.
that would be a piss. You see him All Star Weekend?
I can't.
Yeah.
That was hilarious,
I can't.
man.
But do you see?
It's just
listen,
not for breaking out the game, just to watch them, bro.
have you
It's
seen how he
hilarious.
talks to fans? But man, he's a bit rude.
Who?
Chuck.
That's why I love him.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He ain't no role model.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, let's see how it goes out.
It's not
so,
man.
so who you got? Who you got? You got the same two.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
who
a
you
good
got?
pairing.
I said LeBron, and I said LeBron purely because for viewership, you want the self-proclaimed king. You want to have that intimate moment with him, right? And I reckon Draymond Green. I think Draymond Green's a great media personality. I think he's honest as he could be. Maybe he's a liar, but he appears honest. He seems down to earth, and he knows the game. He runs the offense and he runs the defense on his team. So JJ Redick did none of that ever.
Yeah.
LeBron
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
doesn't
I
do any
think-
of that.
I think it's a good mix. You've got someone
it's clutch.
who's in front of the who's in front of the
Yeah,
camera,
exactly, same management.
who's relevant, somewhat. I mean, I say he's relevant, but I'm saying in the general scheme of things, he's I think it's a good idea.
It's either.
But for me, look, can you imagine, like, put the podcast aside? if you were just to pick a player just to rack their brains, can you imagine sitting down with Jokic, put the language barrier aside, and just having a chat to him about the way he sees the game, for example, or Luka, or
I'd do Luka.
That would be
Luka.
really interesting.
I'd do Luka only because
Kyrie about the little spaces. Even Tyrese Halliburton. Today I was watching him.
He finds tight
His
passes.
that
reads.
floater hook. Do you see that?
Forget about the offense. His reads on defense are underrated, man.
Yeah, he's gone a lot. He's improved a lot this year.
He was waiting for the passes to come. He was reading and waiting for the passes to come.
You mean as a net player, not as a one-on-one player, yeah?
In the passing lanes.
You mean as a net player, as in like
It's a team game, man. I'm talking about the way he reads the offense. So he was able to. So the way on defense, the way he read the plays of the Warriors, back to back, I think he had steals. He could see where they were going and what they were trying to do. And both times, without fail, he was there before the pass. And it wasn't even putting them out of position or anything. He was there before the pass in the best position possible.
But that's what I was saying, like as a net player, as in like not as in his man, as in reading the whole team and reading and getting those mistakes and getting those passing lanes, getting into those. And
he's long too.
Yeah.
For his
so,
size.
But not as the one-on-one defender, as his, and I don't mean not a team game. Yeah, not ISO, even just your man at the perimeter. It's more of, and this is what we talked about defensive player of the year a while ago. Defensive player, blocks and steals shouldn't encompass and paint the picture. What paints the picture is...
I love you, bro.
Why?
I love you, bro.
Why?
That was my argument.
No, I said the same thing. I said, that's what I said about, is Wemby going to win defensive player of the year? No. Should he? He said yes. I said no. Because of what? Blocks and steals? I go, that's not what it is. And he's like, well, that's what it is by the NBA standards.
No,
Yeah.
I said...
He said by NBA standards, that's what it is. He could get it.
Yeah,
I said no. It's
I think
everything
we
you do
spoke
on
about
the court.
Stats, some of the things that don't show up on the stats.
Yeah, I said...
I got to show you. We got to rewind. We're going to rewind that because I literally watched it the other day again.
To change their shots.
That's not all I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is there's players in the league that have the defensive ability to be, for example, a net player. A net player is somebody that isn't necessarily the best guarder of their man. It's they're the best player on the floor for defense for your team. So, they are aromas.
So defensive rating is also about how little you hold your opponent to. So
yeah, of course. But this,
for example, if a shooter is averaging X,
I know,
and when you're defending him, he's shooting below his
below
average.
Shout out to Kawhi Leonard.
Of course, but doing that, a net player would usually not be guarding the best player. So a net player would usually guard somebody that might drop maybe 10 or 12 points a game, right? So it's not really a worry if they get theirs. But being the net player, you roam the floor and you're stopping others from getting theirs too. You're not worried about your man so much because your man's not one of their top scorers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they'll usually put you on him because you can make the game, you can affect the game by guarding all different positions while your man's not really getting his anyway. You're not going to be a net player if you're guarding Kawhi Leonard or if you're guarding Michael Jordan or if you're guarding LeBron James. You're guarding him. That's your job. That's your assignment. But being a good net player is everything else on defense in the game.
I forgot the topic we were talking about.
So we drifted into defensive player and stats, steals. We were speaking about a completed player like...
he was saying Halliburton can affect the game. He's getting into the passing lanes.
We were speaking about Jokic and getting into the mind of Jokic. And I said even Halliburton, the way he reads the game.
Defense and stuff.
I'd love to. About digressing.
Yeah. So
he said defense. Said Halliburton.
Yeah, but
I want to know if he was talking about on his man defense or as a net player defense. That's why I asked.
What he meant by picking his brain.
Picking whose brain?
Halliburton's brain.
So the steals I was talking about, they were intercepts, so they were reading the whole play. So
yeah, but it could. That's why I was clarifying. Are they one-on-one steals, like guarding your man steals, or guarding?
No, he was reading the play.
That's what I'm saying.
Got into the passing lane. Yeah. So on that, look, Tyrese Halliburton was for a while thought that he might contend for MVP early in the season.
Yeah, from bums.
Where he had the run, and then obviously he got disqualified. We covered that a while ago, as he hasn't played the standard 65 games. Another player that's also in that bracket is Shea, and he is the MVP. He sustained it. that's a bold take, but
He is the MVP.
um,
He's number one right now, I think.
so this week he had a very historic milestone. So,
T.
yours?
Alexander.
Well, what happened to Shea this week? What did he do? What was so?
Well, he became one of 5 or one of 6, wasn't it?
1 of 5
One of 5. To have the longest, over 50 30-point games
in the
in
season.
the season.
Yep.
It's huge, man.
The guy's
Big
a baller.
accomplishment.
He's a
huge.
strong cup of tea.
Accomplishment.
So the list
He's
is
my MVP.
the list is Michael Jordan did it twice.
Okay, see.
Michael Jordan did it twice, 89-90 and 90-91 season. So he had more than 50 30-point games.
That's crazy for back
James
then as well,
Harden-
which is majority 2-pointers.
Yeah. Look, the further back you go, the more like massive this accolade seems.
100%.
You know,
Whereas
scoring.
this-
He
Yeah.
ain't done with the 90s.
And so James Harden 2018-19, I think that was his MVP year.
That was his hack year, yeah.
Yeah, that was his stat pattern.
That was
Yeah.
all the free throws, yeah.
And 23s a game.
They changed.
attempt.
The
Wasn't he
league
getting
specifically for him.
like 20 points
Every
from
time,
three
yeah,
point-
every time we went to the
free throws.
anytime he drove the ball, it was a foul.
Not even driving. He would-
Anytime.
So
on the 3-point
Kobe
line, he
Bryant,
just- Yes.
Kobe Bryant
Ruined
05-06.
the league that season.
Mamba.
Yeah, sorry.
Kobe Bryant 05-06
Yep.
achieved it. I don't think he won the chip then, did he?
Yes, it was
05-06.
revenge after losing to Pistons. I
Like
think.
Mamba.
Is that right? Pistons won at 04, and then
We'll look it up. We'll look it up.
05 is
Was it
when,
06 or 7?
no. Pistons won it in 04.
And then T-Mac.
No, I was talking about Lakers.
Team-
they
T-Mac.
won it the following year.
Yeah,
T-Mac was a surprise to me. I
No,
mean,
man.
he's a ultra scorer, but I didn't know he was built like that.
You know, he's a surprise not to be on the list.
Who?
KD.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah,
It is, man. He's a pure.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
see-
I'm sick of hearing this shit.
OKC days, I would have expected it, but after that, I mean,
Bro, he
Yeah,
went on a scoring title.
I'm sick of hearing him being such a scorer.
But he went on a
Sorry,
scoring
man.
title tear. I think he won. He would have won 8 straight had it not been for Miller ruining it for 1 year, which is funny.
so it always comes back to me.
Anyone watch him play lately, right?
Not
KD.
really.
You're not watching him play?
You know,
But it's Phoenix. Who watches Phoenix?
I do.
I'll be honest.
Watch them all.
they've
Do
got
you
him.
watch
They've got
Phoenix?
him in a weird role. It's
I
not.
know.
It's not completely his role in Warriors, and it's not completely his role in Brooklyn. It's kind of that in between.
It's two
where he's-
Batmans.
He's defensive minded, but also one of their main options. So it's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
He's not showing what he's
Because
apparently capable of doing on offense.
He's getting like 15, 20 points, but he's also getting the
Looks like a lazy 15-20, but
seven
he's not.
It looks like he's not
assists,
even-
whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not effort.
Again, they're shooting too many threes. Like too much settled. That's the problem. Then
Well,
they
they
miss
just
a
brought
three.
IT. So what do you think they're looking to do now?
No. More threes.
You know what?
He'll get waived. He'll get
haven't they-
waived. He'll
why
get waived.
didn't they bring in someone like Rajon Rondo?
He's retired.
Get him out of retirement.
I think he wanted to be retired.
I don't know. If you offer him $5 million, he'll come back.
I'm sure he's
Um,
made a few money already.
Yeah,
man.
but I mean, look. Do
Let's-
you know how much the offensive playing would change on that team?
yeah, but
Because they're trying to have Devin Booker.
they already had a Chris Paul.
No,
They don't need a Rondo now.
I
They
don't
might
know.
have Rondo on the assistant coaching staff or something. Yeah, but
That was
Well,
the best. That was the best hope they had with
Yeah.
CP.
Yeah, man.
yeah, exactly. And he was doing well there. But I mean, they had that. They saw
Why
like
is it he comes to the Warriors and he's not our best? He doesn't
non-scoring
change us
guy.
the
Yeah,
way
but
that
he
he
had
changed
to
Houston.
contend
Doesn't
with
change us the way he changed
Dominion
OKC. Doesn't change us the way he changed.
Yeah, but he had Dominion Ayton.
That's
Is that his
frustrating
name?
as
How
hell,
do you
man.
pronounce his name?
And the thing is,
Can't
he's a
stand
rock.
that guy.
He's a
Dominion
rock.
Ayton.
He's solid. He's solid.
He's a
Today,
little wahish. Yeah. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
speaking of solid, Kyrie Ramadan
Robert Don Ray.
Irving.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
He
Wow,
killed it.
that game winner.
It's because of the shift they brought in for him.
The game winner.
Istaqawwi.
Uh,
Yeah.
That-
Ramadan.
That was an amazing game winner, man.
let me see if I can bring it up.
That
So,
was amazing, man.
what did you think when you saw it? Like,
Oh,
No! Don't hit that shot! No!
No,
Shit!
So we spoke about this earlier, and I said the first thought that came to my head after he hit that shot was, well, why don't people use the Kareem Skyhawk more? Even though it was from a short person, if a tall person incorporated the Kareem Skyhawk into their game, but they'd be able to hit game winners like this easy.
So I'll put it up. Let me just
look at Doncic's reaction. Was funny.
See, I thought the play was going to Luka.
I was waiting for the.
No, I knew it was going to go Kyrie. I knew straight away. Everyone knows fourth quarter that team is Kyrie Irving.
Do you remember that Luka reaction?
Yeah.
He's very excited for his teammates.
How's it go?
Off the free throw.
It's very it's good to watch no ego there. Have pure joy to see your teammate thrive like that.
But listen, Luka wasn't always like that.
No, but I'm saying it's good to see
grown.
it now.
Grown.
So let's play it. Let's play it. Just refresh our
2.8 seconds against Denver Nuggets. I did not understand.
Oh,
can we elaborate on that? Go back on it. So just freeze it on just before the inbound. So go back. See, I did not understand.
Kenny Smith?
Yeah. I did not understand why Nuggets had Jokic on Kyrie here.
Yeah, they cleared the paint, didn't they?
I don't understand the thought. See what AG
You've got
is?
AG loose as cover.
So AG, I don't understand why AG didn't swing up to the top behind Jokic to pick up Kyrie. I don't understand
Because
this.
Jokic is already out of position. They need a rim protector.
But it looks like Jokic is screening for Irving there.
Yeah, the thing is...
He's screening for Irving.
If Luka gets loose, Luka's going straight to the rim. So they need AG there.
Yes and no.
Luka's getting
2.8 seconds, man.
Luka's getting that foul.
2.8 seconds is a long time if you haven't opened.
It is, but listen,
one step easy.
You can read that pass, man. Look at it. Tell me that's not readable. It's not even a no-look pass.
No, I don't know. I think here they've got it
play it
beautifully. They've got it beautifully with the action going either here or here.
Man. That looked.
I was stunned how Kyrie ended up with the ball in his hands, even though I knew it was going to happen. I was stunned to think, how did he break free to that?
You could see they've set them up as the two options, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Kyrie here and Luka here in the prime position. So if Kyrie doesn't get free, Luka's cutting here to the elbow, and he's going straight at that ring.
But listen, look,
he's going to get AG in an awkward position in cover and get that contact or take that floater. He's going to the rim.
But listen,
Luka's doing.
Going on this, I'm gonna take a stab at what I think they were going to do. They got MPJ marking the inbound, right? In case they do get it to Luka, so him and KCP can double team the elbow.
That little side
correct? So assignment for Kyrie was solely on AG. Where did he end up?
He ended up all the way here.
AG? No, that was Jokic.
I thought you were talking about Kyrie.
No, I'm talking about AG, Aaron Gordon.
I don't know. I stopped watching it after Kyrie chucked it up.
Aaron Gordon's assignment was solely to mark Kyrie. So where did he end up going?
How did you get AG's assignment as Kyrie from this?
Look at everyone else. Who else is he supposed to be?
I've got AG as cover. I don't see
100% is double team. He's double teaming Kyrie there, off the ball, and he's also there to double team Luka if Luka.
FPJ's to double.
I saw him as
I'm saying Luka's at the top, right? So if Luka breaks three and gets down that lane and goes straight,
that's what
you got Gordon at the rim.
I've got AG as a ring.
100% because he's the one with the athleticism to block that shot, not Jokic.
Yeah, no way.
But then if that's the case, you leave Kyrie open like just what happened now.
Yeah, but you can never.
So I'm assuming they would have had MPJ as the double for Luka to force him to come this way.
The thing
towards
is,
us.
I don't remember how hot either one of them were before this shot. So maybe they saw the perimeter as a threat. And maybe that's why they wanted to force
KCP is a good defender. Like, he's not.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like this is probably why they're leaving the lane so wide open, because they saw the perimeter as a mad threat. Maybe they were hot before this, Yeah,
but why would they need it when it's 105? You wouldn't need a three.
No, I'm saying this is probably why, because come on, man, you've got two killers on the court.
Yeah.
Sidestep
I
Luka.
think everyone really knew that it was going to Kyrie. I mean, they've made it known that fourth quarter is Kyrie's time.
So let's.
But and MPJ, like, where was MPJ present on this play? Like, he didn't.
Is that MPJ?
Yes, Michael
doesn't
Porter
look like
Jr.
him.
it is.
You know who it looks like? Powell, man.
I wouldn't even be guarding the inbound on this play.
Yeah, that's why. Like,
Shaq.
100%,
Shout out Shaq.
100% my thought process.
Shaq. Actually, you remember this, yeah?
Yeah, why are you
Shaq.
marking the inbound pass?
Yeah, no. At this point, sometimes I understand it, but at this point of the game,
5+4.
double team another player.
That's it.
Like,
Especially with the 2 killers.
But even when
you got
Kyrie
two down
gets
there
on-
on Kyrie, put another one on Luka. Let that
Who's
guy
this?
sit
Is
there.
that
there's not
Hardaway?
two.
No, I'm
Jokic-
saying Kyrie's down low. You got two down there.
and you got
You got
two-
one up on Luka. Move Porter on Luka.
I would have Porter
Have two on Luka.
the-
Have two on Kyrie.
I would have.
Who cares about?
Yeah.
Kleber on the court was a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest.
Look, you shut down the
I mean,
inbound pass by
you could see-
doubling up on your superstars on the court.
You know what? To be honest, I think Dallas actually tried to portray that they were going perimeter. They've got Hardaway here as well.
Yeah, but he's also
Trying to
hit
stretch.
and miss.
He's very streaky.
No, but-
He's a J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
No, but my point is, you could see, like, from a Denver perspective, this was going to the perimeter.
I would live with you guys going into
Yeah,
Hardaway.
I agree.
I would
That's
live with that.
fine.
I'm like, if he beats us on a
But
three,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe
Which
they
is
were hot before
Jamal
this.
Murray's assignment.
I actually don't remember before this play if they were actually hot, and maybe that's why they were defending.
So
them
look
so
at their
hard.
reaction. Look at Nuggets' reaction.
Kyrie was hot.
Press pause here. Look how slow MPJ was to react to
See,
Kyrie.
From
look
the
where
inbound.
Luka-
Yeah,
Look where Luka ended up.
and look at AG.
Yeah, he's still trying to stay here.
No,
for cover.
AG ended up picking up the center. Why?
He's trying to stay close to here.
I don't know, man. Look, he moved with
No,
the
he's
center.
right. He's right. He's trying to close
He's
out
trying
if
to
they get
stay
to
close
if
to the
somehow
cover.
they get down there.
Yeah. Because see, he's still allowed to be here.
There's still 1.3 seconds.
He hasn't fully
Somehow
committed.
he can miss a quick shot. Luka can get it and tap in.
Yeah.
And AG's predominantly for boards. and-
Rewind it and just look at how sluggish and slow Michael Porter's reaction is to the inbound pass to Kyrie.
Yeah, but
He-
MPJ
he-
isn't the best defender. To
Yeah,
be
but
honest.
bro, the guy's young, man. He's got no
He's a catch and
excuse.
shoot at best, man.
He's like, look how slow his reaction is. Like, he's watching him.
I wouldn't say he's that young. He's bounced back from injuries as well, hasn't he?
I don't know why he
But
was
that
still
was-
guarding.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why he was still guarding Kleber up that high. Like,
Rewind it again.
Let him go.
Look where Kyrie catches it.
yeah, look, I'll agree with you that MPJ should have been involved in the action a bit more, but then you're going to get in Jokic's way. So
Yeah, Jokic should have been marking him to begin with.
No, you got to have MPJ.
Yeah, right there.
yeah.
Right, MPJ should have cut him off right there.
Yeah, I don't know why he stayed with Kleber up here. Like the pass is in, go straight.
You cut
to
him
here.
off there. Kyrie has to pass
Yeah.
Kleber, and he's still in distance to contest.
in this situation.
Correct?
In this situation, I would have, if I was guarding the inbound to begin with, I would have
Jumped
gone
all
straight
over
to the elbow,
Kyrie. Yeah,
straight to the elbow. You know, that would have been it from MPJ because this guy's not a threat in any way, shape, or form. This high up, Kleber is not a threat. What the hell are you doing? Like he took a step towards him.
Yeah.
It's not like he
he
started
moved away
here.
from the inbound pass.
It,
Yeah.
it makes no sense. So I do agree that he could have been more helpful, and I do agree that Jokic on Kyrie is a massive mismatch, man.
Big mismatch.
Like he beat him. He beat him on one step. He hasn't even moved.
Kyrie did that. Kyrie made that mismatch. Kyrie went down in the post. Who else is going to defend him down there?
Yeah, I mean,
You can
it
have
was
4
one
guys standing
step,
around him.
One step and he was gone.
still
Did
think
Jokic
AJ
really think that he
should've-
was going to keep up with Kyrie? And there was no. I mean, there's a screen on AG, but AG was never coming to Kyrie. He was staying there.
yeah,
See right there.
he's boxing out the center already.
Yeah, AG was never going to leave.
But look at
this zone.
MPJ, man. Go, just rewind it just 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. He stepped
Caldwell
up.
Pope at that point should turn around, put his hands up exactly where he is because he can read what Kyrie's doing. At
Yeah.
that point, Luka's not a threat. You got 1.9 seconds on
He's
the
not
board.
going to make that pass.
Yeah, he's not
you're
going to
right.
make that pass at
Yeah.
all. You got to turn around at that point.
And what? He's
Luka-
gonna
Luka's
touch it
boxing
with
out for a
0.2
rebound.
seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah, no way. You're right. But look, this happens in a flash.
you've sort of
judging it.
let he's sorry.
I know.
He sort of let Kyrie get that shot up
But he
by
even let him
pushing
get
by
inside
pushing
him.
Luka away.
Yeah.
He even
he-
let him get inside him.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. He's moving
I
away.
said
Shit
Luka
defense.
wants to be at the ring. That's known. That's exactly where he wants to be. If the action came to Luka, this is exactly where he would have ended up.
Mm.
So the fact that he's even in front of him is a shock. You know, why are you letting Luka in front of you? You be in front of him.
You know, if they had 2 seconds more on that play, leave it there. If they had 2 seconds more on that play, I can see a bounce pass from Irving to Luka.
No,
I thought that for a second, but that's because we're on pause.
1 second,
Yeah, that's because we're on pause. Like, honestly,
I'm saying if he had 2 seconds more.
if they do that, you can see Jokic kicking the ball.
100%.
No,
he doesn't care. They'll kick
behind.
He's someone's kicking the ball.
No, Kyrie will thread that perfectly, man.
Well, then that should have been the number one choice.
No, if they had more time, not this time.
Oh, yeah, more time.
That's fine. Let's move on to the shot. I think we've sat on this one for a
Kyrie,
bit.
MPJ.
My contention, so you guys are saying that's a beautiful shot, hook shot, whatever.
I don't think it was a hook, but I think it was beautiful.
I'm saying if he can do that,
for me,
why can't the big man incorporate
for me,
Kareem
when we were playing back in our day, okay, we would have called Kyrie a chucker for something like this. Okay, that is not a shot. That's a chuck.
But he's shooting it over 7. What is he? Is he 7 foot? Lucky?
Yeah. Watch it again.
I would call it a left-hand push floater, man. Like
this is a chuck.
Exactly.
You know, I call it
chuck.
I call it doing everything in your power to get that game.
I think it looks like that too because it's his left hand, and
no, it's because he went sideways in. Look,
bro, it's his left hand. It's
that's
not
a
his
chuck.
dominant.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't throw it the same with your left. You can't naturally. You're not the same.
My point. That's still a chuck. That's not a shot. That's a
looks
chuck.
like a shot to me. What about you, Nabs? Mamos?
Bro, to me, at this point of the game, I don't care what you're doing.
LeBron James.
I don't care if you're throwing it behind your back. If it goes in, it goes in. Bro.
Yeah, look at that.
Mazboot.
Seriously, man. Like, I'm not going to critique.
Shaka. You know,
look, I'm not going to critique the shot, all right? Because it went in and won the game. I don't care if it bounced off his head.
So let's stick with Kyrie.
Yeah, understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it's a chucker. And shout out to Seinfeld, George Costanza.
Oh, George Costanza.
Freaking chucker.
Yeah, chucker.
Chuckers galore.
But look at Luka's response. You know, at this moment, what I think he's thinking right now, he's like, finally, I have someone on the team I can rely on in the clutch minutes. I'll clutch second.
Yes,
that's a burn. He had Brunson, man.
He had Brunson.
I mean, you're not Kyrie, but
listen, he had Brunson on the bench.
He still had Brunson. So staying on Kyrie.
Luka would be a hard player to play with. If you're a ball dominant player.
Do you remember the point I just said?
Yeah.
Luka wasn't always like this.
Oh, no.
So he's matured a lot.
Well, you have to. If you got Kyrie, I'm sorry, Luka, you're amazing. Kyrie is still.
Is this a testament to Kyrie being that type of team player? Not player, but team member.
Look, man, Kyrie wins championships.
Yeah, but look how much
he hits clutch shots.
Would you associate the change in Luka to Kyrie?
Yeah, but then you had Jason Kidd as a coach. I mean, what if you can't get that from the coach? Why would you?
I understand, but even Jason Kidd was there before Kyrie.
Yeah, but my point is, you've got that from Jason Kidd.
Yeah, but Luka's change was predominantly. Luka's change was, you could see it specifically when Kyrie came.
Yeah,
mood-wise, yeah.
Not just mood-wise.
Mood-wise is in like more comfortable, allowing people to do their own thing, stepping back.
He would not have passed up or given that
the
reins to Brunson.
Okay. From that perspective, yeah, he's got another option. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, I'll agree with you on
Brunson wasn't that guy until this like the end of last season to this season. Kyrie's established himself as that guy. He's won championships.
Was that guy when Luka was out.
No, but but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying until the end of last season to in this season. But Kyrie comes to you as an established champion.
Biggest steal.
That's what
of the
I'm saying.
century,
It
Brunson.
forces him to mature faster.
Oh, Knicks are loving it.
You get what I mean?
Loving it.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, 100%. It's leadership. It's veteran leadership.
Yes.
I mean, he might be smaller than you.
I'm saying,
but he's a Melbourne boy. So
I'm saying the maturity, would you say it's because of Kyrie or he would have matured?
You can only mature because of yourself.
I think it's a combination.
Yeah, like it's.
I don't.
You growing up as a person. He's still young. Luka's young, man.
Yeah, I know
Very
that. But look, I'm saying Kyrie has made him mature maybe 2 years ahead of schedule.
Yeah, but he's been in the league for a while already, man.
I'm saying he wasn't. If you look before
25.
Kyrie and Luka's maturity, it wasn't. It wasn't coming as if there was a change happening.
Yeah, look, Luka's complaining has died down. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
He's screaming at the refs like LeBron. That's died down a lot.
It's died down a
Yeah,
lot.
but winning fixes that.
Yeah, it does. But having a winning combination fixes that.
Yeah, look, to say that there's been no impact having Kyrie there would be silly. So I agree with you.
And maturity.
Yeah, sure. Maturity.
Okay.
And at the
So
end, it's mature.
let's move on. So we're sticking to Kyrie. We're sticking to Kyrie.
Yeah.
All right. So we spoke about Ramadan and how the impact that Ramadan has on players. Kyrie, I don't know if
balling.
You must be listening to our podcast because you straight balling.
He's balling, bro. He's
during Ramadan. I mean, look at these stats.
You know what it is? It's the dates.
Look at these stats.
It's a Palestinian dates.
We're allowed a lot of dates during Ramadan.
The Palestine, not the bananas from Brooklyn.
No, we don't like banana.
Not
three
those dates.
3 dates a night is sunnah.
3 dates.
F was hard.
Hear that, NBA players?
But hey, show us his stats.
So the stats: Kyrie has increased his points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, and field goal percentage since Ramadan has started.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Let the sunnah go forth.
Dude is eating less. Dude is putting his body through a physical test, and he is increasing in his on-court performance. Before Ramadan, he was at 25 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 4.9 assists, 1.2 steals, and shooting 48.9%. During Ramadan, 27.8 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, and 2 steals per game, and shooting 53% from the field, 53.8 to be exact.
Allah Mubarak, ya Kyrie.
Ramadan
Yeah, that's crazy.
in the building.
Khairi.
You know what will end up happening? Luke will be fasting next season.
He should fast a little bit.
Then I will agree with you completely on the maturity.
We see Luka fasting next Ramadan. We know what kind of impact Kyrie's had.
Luka, my Slovenian brother, we invite you to Islam. You
brother.
see the beauty, the benefits, you just from a performance perspective, do it, man.
Come join my team.
Brother, I've got him locked into my team.
Team Iceland.
Iceland.
So speaking of Kyrie, Kendrick Perkins, the lovable clown that he is, he posted a post about Kyrie, showing Kyrie in the Mavs and Kyrie in Brooklyn.
They did him dirty, bro.
And the post shows Kyrie eating a banana in Brooklyn, looking all disheveled and depressed and sad, sitting on the ground, and smiling in the Mavs. And it reads, "The Mavs have been flying a personal chef so that Kyrie has his vegan meals ready to eat when the sun goes down. In Brooklyn, they used to give him a banana."
Banana.
That's ridiculous.
Mouse.
I mean, the optics.
That is ridiculous.
The optics on that is just hilarious.
I know. You can see what they're doing in the media.
So staying with the Mavs, okay. Let's move on because let's start.
Keep it moving.
Let's start it with the Mavs because what I wanted to talk about was we spoke about this whole "we done with the 90s" nonsense last week.
We done with Michael Peake.
Now,
your boy.
I just want to show. I want to show parts of the 90s that are in the game, creeping into the game right now, that everyone wants to see. Undeniably, this was the epitome of American basketball, and it's that in-your-face type culture.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That get off of me type culture. That
in your face.
That dunking,
that
catching,
slap in the face,
catching Spalding on your face, man. Like that culture. I'm seeing that come back, and it is beautiful. I love it. And some of these examples, we've got from the Mavs, man. I mean, starting it off with the Mavs. We'll stay with the Mavs. So
is this Derrick Jones Jr.?
Derrick Jones Jr., man.
He's got hops, man. Yeah, he got
My
hops.
God. And it was following the Kyrie alley. So I'm gonna show that.
That was a whole sequence.
You gotta love that Kyrie alley.
That was a whole
Kyrie
sequence,
alley
man.
first, and then it was
2 alleys.
Now, who stole the ball initially? Someone
the
dove
So it
it
was
down.
Luka to Kyrie to Jones, and then the other one was
Luka to Kyrie.
Luka to Kyrie.
100%.
It
So
was like, God damn.
let me
It was a good
it
play, man.
here. You guys have seen it. What did you just think of all of that? Like, do you like seeing that back?
I love it. I
Man,
love it.
dunking was what made me fall in love with the game.
Look, listen. If they ever do want to fix the entertainment factor of NBA,
Give us a call.
no, and they
Lower the rings.
No, and they want to bring back the ratings to what the 90s had. Talking about the 90s again, then maybe a thought would be extra points for a dunk.
Yeah, but then
Stop changing the game.
yeah.
Well,
Just
listen.
call travels, carries, call all the
It's
rules
not-
that need to be
no,
called.
No, I said from entertainment, purely.
I reckon it'd be more entertaining.
Right, people want to say dunks in your
And
face.
that comment that you just mentioned was echoed by one of the legends of the game. Who was it again?
Talking about travels and carries and God knows what, and
I had it
bloody
here.
doing roly polies and still being able to dribble and bloody coming down from
I don't know.
from the moon and
It was.
All I know is
SpaceX.
while making my
and
compilation to send to Mr. Michael Peak,
Michael Pick.
I got a compilation of, like, I was thinking, of course LeBron's leading the league in scoring.
Rick Barry.
80% of his shots,
Who was it?
80% of his shots are off travels. But you haven't called them. Call the travel, deduct his points.
So Rick Barry.
Rick Barry or Rick Mahorn? Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
Rick
Oh,
Barry.
Rick Barry, the white
His
fella.
top 75.
Good shooter.
Rick Barry is quoted to say, "Stop the traveling." So this is his take on fixing the game. Stop the traveling. Stop the carrying.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Stop the moving screens.
Yes.
Call the damn game according to the rule book.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Rick Barry.
No need
Very,
for 4
very
points
nice.
for a dunk.
Right?
I did say 4 points.
Or a 4-point line.
I did say 4-point
Well,
line.
that's
I'm
No,
saying,
an
like,
example.
if you got 3-point line for shooting bloody ridiculous shots from the car park, they're less entertaining than seeing a dunk in someone's face.
Well, how's this? How about free throws at adds and minus?
Yeah,
I agree.
like
Yes, I like
So if you miss your free throws, you're minus a point.
So
that.
what
I'll
would
take
that
it
be?
further. I'll take it further.
LeBron James would be minusing every game.
I'll take it further. Anything in early shot clock. Actually, you know what? Forget the shot clock. Anything beyond 30 feet, okay? You miss it, you lose
Logo.
a point.
Logo?
You lose a point.
Yeah, I don't mind.
You miss it, you lose a point.
Because
You
it ruins the
airball-
game.
You airball, you lose 2 points.
Oh, like in on the rack.
On the rack.
On the rack.
You know why? Because if they're coming up and just running and shooting, bro, I'm falling asleep. I'm like, I'll be honest, man. This is how I'm watching games sometimes. Bro. I'll start the game. You got the introductions, the players coming out. They sing the anthem.
You gone.
Shout out to Fergie with her bloody. With her anthem. Bro, I think I seen Chuck sneak off to the toilet for that one.
Bro, you're going on a time machine right now, bro.
And then the game starts. And for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Wemby comes out, gets the ball, and decides, oh yeah, I'll shoot a Lego 3. Like, yeah, he got it in, but do you really want to see that as the first play of the game?
I don't
Yeah, I
mind
do.
that. I don't mind
That's
that.
not a thing for me.
And then,
What's the thing for me is the free throw.
Wait, listen. And then we come back and he's like thinking, okay, I'm on fire. Let's shoot more threes. Miss. Shoot another one. Brick. Shoot another. At this point, I'm like this.
What I don't want to see.
It's fourth quarter.
Bro, when you called me today,
Yeah.
I just got home. I just put the Lakers game on. I was watching the Warriors game in the car driving.
Right.
And when I got home, I put the Lakers game on.
Right.
Put it on my bed. Put the pillow behind it so I
Right.
could lie there and watch it.
Give us visuals of what
within
in your
an
face.
hour, within not an hour, within 20 minutes.
Yeah. What quarter was it?
I was asleep. Second quarter.
Yeah, when you wake
I
up.
was asleep. And then you freaking called me 10 minutes later. And then I was awake.
And what quarter was it when you wake up?
But I switched off the game. I didn't switch off the game.
But that's my point there. Like,
No,
it's-
but that's how it gets. It gets like
You
that.
got-
Yeah,
man.
look, I don't
Especially
mind.
like LeBron's game the other day with what? The last 2 minutes was 25 minutes.
bro, and I was saying this.
The shot clock?
I've been saying this for a whole season. It's like watching the old NBL.
No, we'll get that.
No, but
far.
they weren't
I
throwing
liked.
it up like.
I actually liked the
You're
old
talking
NBL.
about the misses back and forth.
No, I'm talking about just run, shoot.
No, when
I'm
I
talking
grew up,
about chucking.
when I grew up in the 90s NBL, I actually enjoyed that basketball. It was
No,
good
no,
basketball.
I'm talking
Look,
about
what
that
I don't
Period.
early
Oh,
thousands
yeah.
period.
look. I'll agree with you. Okay, if it misses to the side of the backboard.
We've seen that, but how many players?
I'm saying they're the things that I would take.
Shout
away
out
from the
to
game.
who was it? Westbrook done that. Paul George has done that.
They're the
Everyone's
things that I
done
want
that.
to
I've done
see.
You
that.
know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying wide to the backboard, wide, and it hits the back of the backboard. So you've shot it long, you've shot it completely, aimlessly almost, and you've shot it from the logo. Like you don't need to.
But
be
that's-
Tyrese Maxey did it today.
But
It
listen,
was
this
24
is,
seconds on the clock,
that's
on the
not
shot
my
clock.
point.
they're the things. They're
My
the things
point
that I would like to
is-
see. But the long distance shots, nah, man, keep them.
No,
That's right.
listen. That's not my point. My point is repeatedly missing.
Hey, if you're going to do that
Shoot,
against the
shoot.
Bulls, go ahead, keep shooting.
Shoot, man. Shoot.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
a coach's. That's a coach's problem.
Listen,
That's
shoot
a
is
coaching
shoot, and the audience falls asleep.
That's a coaching problem. If the coach is going to keep
Yeah.
allowing the same person to keep taking those shots like Jordan Poole would, pull him out of the game.
You know.
If you're not, then that's the coach's
you know
fault.
whose
mate.
problem it really is? The NBA's ratings.
Well, I don't believe the ratings anymore because at the moment, like we went over this last
all-time
time.
low.
But we went over this last time. The amount of illegal streaming platforms out there now streaming the NBA that are not counted for is like most
don't
people I
know,
know
man.
don't buy the NBA app.
Listen,
they
this-
stream illegally.
The population in this time of era compared to then is more. So
No,
even
but
if you have streaming,
you know what
hang
I'm
on.
saying?
there's
yeah?
more human beings
No,
alive.
but
Yeah,
Moran,
but more
Moran,
human
what are you
beings are
talking
not going to
about?
pay $30 a week to
Viewership
month.
from the media channels in America. That's what they're really talking about
Yeah.
when they talk about viewership.
Yeah,
Okay, because they compare it to the NFL.
and China.
They compare it to the NFL. When
Yeah,
they
but they're
talk
watching-
about viewership is down.
Yeah,
To me, that's
Not just down.
That's a rubbish
all-time low.
stat. Yeah, but that's a rubbish stat for me.
Yeah, I just believe there's a lot more people watching. I'm not going
Listen.
to say it's more, but I'm saying I don't believe that's what it is
Okay,
now.
but listen, when you're going into negotiations for
Streaming, yeah,
broadcast,
and streaming now.
I'd like to bring it back
that
because we've
it's under
moved
the
away
branch
a little.
of broadcast. That's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at.
Yeah, but
rating
at the
stats.
moment they can't because they don't have that metric. They don't know who, like they're not in the streaming world themselves.
even they still won't find out, but they have to go by
They'll
what
get a
they.
better gauge, but
Yeah, there's a gauge, and their gauge is all-time low. Like, come on, man.
yeah, but that's based on what they're able to measure.
Okay, so look, since you guys are here, okay, because clearly we're not going to get to this topic.
Are we here?
Where?
Since we're here,
Sorry, I'm just you guys
No,
digress.
that's fine,
and
that's
was
fine.
I don't know
expanding.
we're here.
we were on the Mavs. I've got the Mavs up. We were talking about the Mavs, but since you brought this point up, there was one of the latest news this week was that the NBA are signing deals now with gambling organizations.
Right.
Okay,
It's just going to ruin the comp even more.
to start having access on through the NBA app. So you're
That's
right.
haram.
This is a reaction
It's
to
haram.
this is the reaction
It is
to
haram,
poor
man.
viewership and so on. Okay, now whether it's a reaction to poor viewership or a money grab, okay, I think it's a fine line, but clearly this is a move aimed at trying to increase the funds in the NBA outside of the media deals and everything else.
I don't like it.
Of course not.
I don't like it
Of course
because
not.
now you're
How
just
can you like it?
you're
A
now.
family-friendly game has turned into.
But it's not just them. It's not just the NBA. You got
Bro,
like
it's not
in,
family friendly anymore.
in Australia, you've got.
your kids watching this, man.
in
Yeah, but it's
NRL.
not family friendly anymore.
So
you hear
in-
the
in
music they're
Austra-
playing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not family friendly.
in Australia, you got the NRL that bloody gambling. No, it's all sports.
Yeah.
It's all sports, unfortunately. But
So-
it's not gonna make the game better. If anything, it's
I
gonna
don't
make
think
it
it's
worse.
meant to make the game better. I think it's meant to try to steer people away from illegal bookies.
Yeah,
and
But
do
even
it-
listen, even if it's gonna steer the game from legal bookies, what's initially gonna do is allow more rigging of games.
well, like in America, like gambling's not allowed in all states.
Yes. What's
so-
that? Dallas.
Atlanta, Vegas, and
Dallas,
I think there's
Dallas.
a couple more that allow sports
Speaking of
betting,
Dallas-
online sports betting. But
Speaking of
it's-
that, we were speaking about Dallas.
Speaking of Dallas, right? Speaking of Dallas, there's a conspiracy regarding why Mark Cuban sold the team. Majority.
Yeah. Let's leave that for another. Come
Okay,
on, man.
we'll leave it.
We've
But
gone on to
we
like
will talk about
multiple
gambling.
side quests.
We'll talk. It's part of gambling.
Yeah, leave it
Yeah,
for another
Wagwan.
day.
Wagwan.
It's an old
Shout out
it's an old topic anyway, so
to
we can
side
always
quest.
talk about
Okay.
that later. It's
Vegas.
to do
Yeah.
with Las Vegas, no problem. We'll
No,
talk
not
about
Las Vegas.
We'll talk
We're
about that
talking
another
about
time.
Dallas, the state of Dallas. You can't gamble at the moment.
Casinos and things like that. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Same.
But
Did
what
you
did
know
you
that?
think? What did you think of the gambling?
Why are you laughing?
views?
What?
What do I think about the gambling deal?
Yeah,
I don't have any. To be honest, I don't have any view on it at all. In the end of the day,
You
it's
don't pay for
haram,
it? Yeah.
but it doesn't like it's no different to what it is pretty much now. Like really,
Now it's under
It's
the
just-
table.
yeah,
It's going to be
it-
over the table
it's-
now. Is pretty much what you're saying.
exactly 100% right. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't affect us. It doesn't. It's not going to affect my team from playing in playoffs.
You know what's not going to
From getting eliminated in round one if they make it. It's
My sleep time's still going to be first quarter.
it's going to be annoying
And
seeing
then
more of
fourth
those
quarter,
ads.
waking up to a game winner from Kyrie. Oh, hectic.
But you know,
Bro,
I
legit.
don't like. I don't. It's not a good thing. I don't find that it's going to benefit or not benefit me in any way at all. I mean, it doesn't change my view on the game or anything to do with the game. So I'm
think-
not really bothered about it.
I think you mentioned something there. Like, how will this look
Advertisement wise,
with advertisement? You know,
shit.
are we going
pardon
to
the
start
French.
seeing? Are we going to start seeing courts, littered with advertisements like the NBL and
Maybe jerseys too now,
Well, the jerseys have got the patches, but yeah, what if it gets to that?
because we
point?
never had these patches in
Don't
NBA.
forget-
They copied it, and when they said they were bringing it in, I was like, "This is ridiculous. What are they going to
That
look
was
like
for the
NBL
bubble.
players?"
the bubble.
And NBL used to have all these heaps of jersey, like heaps of.
You couldn't tell it was the team. It was like,
They're right.
oh,
Pure milk, this, that,
Yeah.
that. It's like,
is it the Hungry Jacks Kings?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
and yeah, I do see that happening.
So that's a
Specifically
little bit.
because of the
Prob-
All-Star court. You know, the
Advertising on the LEDs and stuff.
Yeah. So they can chuck up advertisements during halftime.
But
They
I
already
see,
do that. They do that in production. Whenever if you have a look at it live, you'll see near the dunker spot,
Yeah.
it'll flash up some ads and it'll change. So they digitally.
They might do
add
it
on
during
there.
free throws now as well. Like,
see,
you
I
never
see,
know.
I see one issue that could be an issue since sports betting is predominantly online and apps and all this. And you're
Yeah,
saying in the
100%.
NBA app they might be introducing it. The ability for kids to be able to do this,
It's ridiculous. There's no
it's very hard to
control.
monitor.
They're already
Parents,
preparing them with the
Yani-
leagues, the fantasy leagues, and
Yani,
everything. So.
people couldn't. Parents weren't prepared for Fortnite.
Yeah, and
Fortnite, people were charging their mum's credit card $20,000,
Bro,
$10,000
wow.
for skins.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you think it's like? I'm not going to say that is how it is going to be, but that is a
And I
concern.
do agree with you that the younger generation do gamble more than us, than our generation.
Okay.
Not down at Crown. No.
No, but
Casino.
I'll give you an example. Like the younger one of our youngest brothers' generation, they like to gamble.
I think
It's
through
because
history,
you
that's
know why? It's easily accessible on the phone now.
yeah, that's another way. But I mean,
Whereas
historically,
back in our day, you had to walk into tab, and then you're walking out and you see your uncle, bro, he's gonna give you a slap.
yeah. But see, that's if you're sports betting.
Yeah, what
Like
was that?
majority of
what
betting,
other betting was there?
majority of betting back
Horses?
then. No, majority of betting back then was
Pokers.
tables, cards, poker, blackjack, roulette, all that stuff.
So let's move on.
Yeah, but that's like once a week. I'm talking
Once
about,
a week.
These-
These
these
I'm talking
guys-
about like once a year, twice a month. Mate.
But these guys are
no, he's saying
gambling.
the accessibility on
Oh yeah,
through
yeah,
the app
of course.
as well.
That's why I think that is a concern that
A
it's
big concern.
predominantly
Yeah, so
used
I think we all agree there's a lot of dark places that this could take the league. I'm not a fan of it, but I want to bring it back to the Mavs. I want to
Dallas.
bring it back to what we were talking about, the whole in-your-face culture. I call it the in-your-face culture.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're talking about the Ducks.
Okay,
How we digressed,
And it-
I have no idea.
and we were on the Mavs, so I'm going to play the Mavs showcase of this. So this was Kyrie and Luka connection. So let's roll that. So off transition play.
Bro, he still got hops.
Ramadan Ray.
So that was the angle that I mentioned. And if
Aussie,
you watch
Aussie,
it
Aussie.
back,
Melbourne.
if you watch it back,
He should come play for the Boomers. Don't worry about it.
Come play for Shabab.
So
FTC.
here,
I'll smash it.
But he's still got hubs, man.
so if you look at Kyrie's, there's another angle where it's zoomed in. He's smiling here.
Luka.
Sorry, Luka. Luka's smiling after he delivered that lob.
He didn't expect him to jump that high, do you reckon?
He was trolling him.
Yeah.
He was trolling him. He threw
did
it
it.
up like that because he's like, there's no way you're going to get it.
He got it.
Right? He was trolling him. If you look at it, I swear to you, he is grinning from ear to ear before he goes for that dunk because he's thinking, there's no way. He didn't want him to, like, he wasn't planning on him dunking
crazy.
it.
That's crazy.
And
man.
Kyrie, credit
old
to
is
him, man.
You know what?
Dude is flying,
Talking
man.
about Kyrie,
Look at
how
him.
old is he?
34, 35.
Look at him.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Dude is flying.
It's the shoes.
Dude is 6'2".
What shoes is he got?
No, it's
now?
because he's very
Enter.
light. He hasn't eaten all day.
He's got new shoes. Enter. He's not with Nike anymore.
I was meant to ask you.
Yeah.
Your profile picture of you double tomahawk dunking.
You're back
What
in-
low ring is that?
It wasn't. You know what?
Get the hell out of here.
Listen.
You're off a trampoline or something because
No, look,
that way you're
Listen,
dunking,
let
Is
me
that the
explain
unit?
it.
It's
Yeah,
so
does it?
full
But
of
it
it.
wasn't the low one. It was the other one.
that's not a full-size
9'6".
ring.
Listen.
Not that
Can I
dunk.
explain?
Yeah,
Can I
yalla,
explain?
faddal, but no lies. It's
Let me
Ramadan.
explain, brother. So this was at a university court. One side was low. The other side was low. But
So both sides were low.
listen. Can I explain? The other side where I was dunking on wasn't kiddies low. It was
9 foot?
I don't know what's regular height. For
10 foot.
10 foot. So it was
Did you
like,
just ask me that question?
So, yeah, I did.
Shit.
So yeah, it was like 9 foot. It was like 9 foot something, right? It was on that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I remember we had a league when we were 17 called the 9 foot slam league.
That was
And
bro,
it was
that
like
was
a fun league.
two-handed tomahawk, bro.
Yeah,
I
that
had
was
hops,
fun.
bro.
That was fun.
I don't remember you finishing that dunk.
I do.
I remember taking that picture.
Bro,
The picture
yeah.
looks faked. It
I don't
looks
remember
forged.
you
wasn't
finishing
fake.
it.
He took the picture.
But I knew that had to be a lower rim. That had
Yeah.
to
So
be.
I even took it like upwards, so it looked like you were flying.
Nah, man. I used to be able to dunk those.
No, I'm not saying you didn't dunk it. I think that one, because we did a few, remember? We were
did
going
few,
back and forth. I can't find this clip with Derek Jones Jr.
You
man.
know what? I want to be able to do that again.
Really?
Not on the 10-foot one, but at least on the 9-foot one.
See, I thought about making a 9 foot league for fun. For all the older guys just to
Because
dunk on each other.
Bro,
Where did
you-
they do
you
that?
saw how big
Spain,
I
right?
It was in America, I saw one.
I think Spain, that's like their leagues going up. They don't start, like the high schoolers, they don't start at 10 foot.
Oh, that's happened all over the world now. So what happens is, and I'm not talking about high school, primary school now, like when we were in primary school, I was like 5, 6,
It
7
was like
playing.
6 foot.
We
5 foot.
we played on 10 foot rims. But now
Yeah.
the kids growing up, they drop it all the way down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we started on 10 foot rims. We
Right.
never had that. Let's lower the rim. That was a new thing, and that came with so you don't change your form of shooting. Back in the day, they didn't have that
Correct.
understanding, so we were always flinging the ball up. But they realized if you lower the rim,
You can correct this.
your shot will always be the same all the
This
way
is
through. And as you age, the
is
rim
it,
gets
yeah.
higher.
Damn. Every time I see it, man. That is
Yeah,
just
that was a
monster.
crazy dunk. The whole sequence, man.
It wasn't just the height. The way he
The
threw
whole
it in as
sequence.
well, that's just straight 90s, man.
And you know what? I wanna make a point of this.
Here
This
we
is
go,
the
here
second.
we go. Here we go.
This is the second play we're watching,
Oh.
Dallas. and there's one thing that's consistent about both plays.
Luka.
Luka's stealing the ball.
Okay. Getting on the ground.
Yeah,
getting dirty.
man. He's hustling this
So-
season, bro. He's hustling for the MVP.
So let me make my
He's
case.
hustling.
He
bro.
won't be the MVP.
But listen, he is hustling.
Yeah,
on
but he
the-
won't. He won't even get it.
Is this the best defensive season he's had?
It doesn't matter. He won't be MVP.
Okay, if this is his best,
Guys,
then he's
guys,
only
guys,
gonna get
guys,
better.
guys, guys.
He'll never be MVP.
Guys,
Not this season.
Guys, we're talking about the 90s in your
90s.
face, okay?
Yeah,
The
hold on,
dunks,
hold on,
the
hold on.
dunks, the
Press
dunks,
pause.
the
Wait.
dunks.
If you're gonna put the 90s, you have to put the sound on.
No.
Yes.
We ain't done with the 90s.
Yeah. Do you agree? You have to put the sound on. I want to hear the taunts.
sound will be on.
I want to hear the taunts.
Okay. I didn't think
You
you heard
done?
the taunts.
Are you done?
There is taunts.
But this ain't the
It's a
90s.
commentary, bro.
Is this the 90s?
No.
Yeah, he
No.
said it's 90s.
Look at it.
No, I'm talking about the league and the way that
Style of play is going back to dunk.
Yes. I thought you said you're going to show us
That's why you
90s.
gotta listen, my brother.
All right, yalla.
Okay.
But he was talking to me. at the
اسمع
same
ولا
time. Yalla.
اسمع.
All right, go.
So,
So what
I'm
dunk
making
is
my
this one?
case. I'm making my case. The 90s are back. Okay, this one is actually an old
That wasn't
one.
in your face.
That was an old one. My bad.
Come on, man.
So for
I
some
haven't
reason-
seen one in your face dunk so far.
Wait for it.
He was going to show Ant-Man's, wasn't he?
I
That would have been the
was.
first one you
Sure,
showed.
he sent someone with a
building the
concussion
case.
and then Zion Williams.
I'm building the
Yeah.
case. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. Why is it showing me
Who
the
was the
top
other one?
five?
John Collins? No, John Collins.
John
the one
Collins
that
got
was-
concussed.
He got a.
He got a zub to the
Bro,
Ras.
he legit. Ant-Man just went.
Yeah, he goes, Khaddi.
He got a
Khaddi.
tickle as well, a tickle.
No, do you know who did that? That was Lakers game.
James
Did it to
Johnson
Austin-
from Oklahoma
Did it to Austin Reeves. Straight,
Oh, that was at the start of the game.
he straight
Instantly.
teabagged him.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Hawks.
He pretty much jumped
Yeah.
over him. And he tried to take a charge.
Did you hear Austin Reeves?
Yeah.
Talking
After the
about,
game, he was like-
you don't want my view.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
They were like, "What was your view
Like,
like?"
trust
from
you to
there?"
assist.
They're like, what was your view like? They're asking him, the reporters, like,
That's
trust
the-
me, you don't want to know my
Who
view.
asked that question, bro?
Hillbilly
You know the
Kobe.
answer.
So let's
Hillbilly
put on
Kobe.
Anthony Edwards because I can't find the Zion example, but I'm building my case.
Oh, that Zion dunk was hectic.
Bam!
That's nice.
Eat leather.
That's nice.
Zub it in your face.
Okay, the interesting thing here, and I really wanted to touch on this. Dislocates his finger.
On his head.
On his head.
The guy gets concussed. Straight nasty dunk. Okay,
That's a poster.
but Anthony Edwards comes back the next game.
Kobe.
Has a beast of a game. I
not
think it was a
Kobe,
back-to-back
MJ.
as
No,
well.
but I'm saying
MJ.
It was a back-to-back.
Yeah.
He had himself all taped
Bro,
up
he
and
threw that
everything.
in. It wasn't a dunk.
Wasn't shooting well, but he was still an impact on the court.
the thing is, I originally thought he dislocated his finger on the rim, but it was actually on his head.
On his
On
It
head.
wasn't even a
head.
dunking hand.
Bam!
But
And
on
I don't
his
understand
head.
where the concussion is.
How's it go?
Where's the concussion? His zub is that
How's it
like?
go?
No, that was a hit.
On-
It
I didn't
was
see
like-
the knee. I didn't see anything.
It was
head?
like a punch, but with his finger.
Oh, but that's not a
You know what?
concussion.
It was on his head.
John
with his
Collins,
head.
your pussy.
No, but when
Nah, bro, that would have hurt.
I've got to say, look, in the side,
Concussion?
in the side of the temple,
Bro, I don't know how hard he hit him, but he hit him hard.
in the
enough to-
temple, getting hit like that when it's unexpected, it's
You know
gonna
what?
do
How many
some
times have you been punched in the head?
a lot. But
unexpected?
Did
But
you ever
if-
get
yeah,
ever get
unexpected.
concussed from it?
no, I like to.
You're like, come, bring it on,
But you know
خيه.
what's funny? It was this finger that dislocated.
Yeah, خده.
What did he do after it? He went,
Ah!
look.
Ah!
That was like a when a child does something, he's like, "Ah, look." He was showing his mate. They're all sitting there celebrating. He's like,
Yeah, they thought he was like celebrating like this, like Kyrie, my hand. He's like, no, it's fine.
It's gone.
"Go on."
That was funny.
So a couple more. I'm building my case here. So next
Why
time,
you do? Why you
next
doing
time
this?
next time we hear we're done with the 90s. Clearly the NBA players are not.
But listen, while
No,
we're here,
no,
while-
they're
This is inspiration from the 90s in my opinion.
Why you're
Only
looking,
that fag.
why you're
Dion,
looking for
Michael
this
Dion
video,
pick.
right? I want to mention something. Are we all on the same boat that the 90s had better 1 foot dunkers? Not 1 foot, 1 step dunkers.
I had better dunks all over. I don't
Yeah,
care what
but
else.
listen,
Better dunks.
1 step dunkers. We're
Like-
talking about 1 step into a dunk.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that, man. That's a very obscure thing.
No,
No,
man.
no,
bro,
no,
Sean Kemp.
It was look.
This guy was on
If we're
a
talking about
pedestal
power
from-
jams, if we're talking about power jams, talking about like you dunk on someone, you hold that ring and you flicking your feet out
Yeah,
and
this is
doing
what I
all
mean.
these kinds of things.
In the 90s, they could do
wanna
that
see
from
that.
one
I want to
step.
see that. I want to see that above the rim. Ah,
They
get
could-
off from me.
yeah, but listen,
I want to
That's the
see
90s.
that.
Chris Webber style.
That's
Chris
what I'm
Webber,
saying.
Chris Webber was a beast.
And that's what I'm saying in
They
the
get
game
it
now.
right.
And
Yeah, but
this
what-
is why I'm saying this is a whole slap in the face with this whole we done with the 90s nonsense. Because this is straight from the 90s. This type of play is straight from the 90s. And I want to see more of it. I want to see more in the game. I want to see the referee that calls a tech foul on someone hanging onto the ring, bitch slapped. Get
want
rid of that.
taunting. Look, the next
Get
step
rid of
is
that.
That is
next
bullshit.
stopping. Bring the taunting back. Next step.
Tech fouls for hanging on the ring should be only in certain
This
circumstances.
is the type of stuff
No,
that's going to
no,
keep.
No, like if
Hang
you're
off
still
for all
hanging,
you want. I don't care.
This
if you're
is the
still
type
hanging
of
on the ring and
stuff-
someone's shooting the
Spider-Man
ball,
that shit.
if you're hanging on the ring and someone's trying to shoot the rebound back in,
I
that
don't
should be a
care.
tech foul.
I don't
But
care.
if you're hanging on the ring after a made dunk, it's a different story.
Hectic.
Like if you miss the dunk and you're still hanging on the ring, you're just a dickhead.
That's basket
Yeah,
interference.
yeah,
Get out of
you're-
there.
Exactly.
Get out.
But listen, this type of stuff is what's going to keep Moz awake.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look, I'll be honest. It will. It
Actually,
will.
I think it's your shifts that keep you awake.
No, it's not there.
So Malik Monk, I'm building my case. We're going to see all of these examples.
That
in
was
transition,
crazy, bro. I
okay.
love those dunks where you cock
There
it
was
back
another one
and
in this
just
game. There was another
shove
one in
it
this
down
game.
the throat.
There was another one in this game. It was
I
a
love it, bro.
two-hander.
Look at it.
There was another one. It was a two-hander by Malik Monk. I don't have it here.
That's what he did. What's so funny? He cocked it back and shoved it down the throat.
Pause.
100% pause.
That was a rewind, my
That was-
friend.
that
That
was-
wasn't a pause.
That was double pause.
Oh, man.
Oh, bro.
So
That was like TikTok.
then there's the Zion dunk. We've all seen the Zion dunk. I
That's
mean,
the best.
do we need to say
Oh,
anything?
I want to say it. That was a hectic dunk.
We're going to have to leave that for later.
Oh,
So-
that's dirty.
I'll put it up. We've all seen it, man. Straight up Space Jam monster
Bro,
style, man.
Where he grabbed it from, where he jumped from,
Nasty. Absolute weapon.
down the throat. Oh, sure, Yusuf. You don't like seeing it down the throat. Yusuf's had enough. He's finished. Yusuf's finished, bro. He's done.
So yeah, I just wanted to highlight we definitely not done with the 90s, nor should we be done with the
Ooh,
90s from
definitely not.
this perspective.
Definitely not.
I want to move it on to one final point, a couple of bits of news. So G League is no more, or G League Ignite is no more.
No,
soon to be
Yeah.
next season G League,
so NBA is splitting from G League
Dead.
altogether. Yeah.
which means NBL, Mabruk. We're gonna have a lot of stars coming down here
I
Let's
agree.
do
to
it.
Melbourne.
No, Melbourne Phoenix, Southeast.
That's my team.
Yeah, mate.
So
That's where we live.
G League
That-
Ignite,
that-
G League Ignite had notable players such as Kuminga, Jalen Green, Scoot Henderson. Everyone else pretty much straight
God,
garbage.
bro.
Garbage.
Get that shit out of
Just
here.
cum buckets and what's the other one?
Bruh. Look, out of those, look at those three names. Let's be honest. Are we ever gonna look at those names and go, "Oh shit, he's the franchise player of the year"?
Not a franchise player, but cum bucket might be number 2 option on one team. He's
Yeah,
starting to.
And this is what
If
He's
he has the
there.
right
He's
mentoring around him and works on his game right,
Kuminga?
he's got potential. Yeah, he's
And
got great potential.
The last thing, you know what? I'll leave this to last because it's my take, and it's gonna kind of take us away from the main point. But yeah, 90s era is back. 90s basketball is back,
some of it.
and some of the coolest. Well, yeah, with the highlight, the
I want to say
excitable,
taunting. I
the
want to say
excitable
taunting.
thing. The
We're putting
excitable-
people back on posters.
Yeah,
And it's more frequent.
That's
Yeah,
it.
or-
That's it. Poster life.
Speaking of
No
posters,
one wants posters.
do they
in
even
their-
do posters
Well,
anymore?
that's what I was saying. No one wants posters in their bedroom of
Yeah.
someone stepping
But
back
they
a three
I don't-
or
yeah,
shooting
they
a
do.
free throw.
But
Like,
nobody's.
get out of here, man.
Oh, but listen.
We done with that.
Listen.
But nobody's
hang on,
buying
hang on. I'm
magazines,
gonna call
man.
you out on that.
No, but they're buying. Like you go to Big
I
W,
wanna
you
call
still
him
got
on
all the
that.
Jordan posters and all the thing posters still
Yeah,
there.
but did you buy them from there, or you got them from the magazines? 'Cause they
Me,
used to have the
everywhere.
basketball
I'd get them from the
magazines.
newsagents. I'd get them from Slam
We
magazines.
all
I'd
seen
get
that
them.
post of
My room-
Jordan.
Yeah, but that's a
Grand-
championship
Oh,
winner.
bro,
Like, that's
bro.
different.
Bro, that's a shot and a half.
No, I had the one where it was in. I had many, but one of them, my favorite ones was. It was a blue sky with all clouds, and he was just flying through with the ball.
That's a
That was
typical
great.
one.
I had 2 of his real size hands on my wall. Off that, remember the
Oh,
Rare Rare
yeah,
book?
Yeah.
I took it out of my book, put it on the wall.
I've got that. I bought that recently.
I'm like, sometimes I dream.
So 90s was all about that in your face type of style of play,
Oh yeah.
but it's also
Get
about
nasty with it.
sneaker culture, and that takes us to one of our favorite
segments.
segments. Let's roll it.
The king.
You were not the king.
I am currently the king.
Someone's wearing Mardi Gras shoes today.
Big crown.
He's got the queen crown.
So, I'm going up first. This is the Kyrie. I think they're the 7th. Yeah, so I wanted to stay in the theme of Kyrie since he's been balling out.
The Illuminatis.
These are the Kyrie
The
by
Bahamian
you.
Grove.
The Kyrie by you, and as you can see, they're a custom colorway that Nike allows you to do. These ones I've modeled them on the old Yeezys, the Nike Yeezys, pure platinum. They're very fresh. They glow in the dark. They've been in the box for a while, so it's not really showing, but they are fire. So that's my ones. Kyrie's.
Ramadan Rees.
What's
Yours.
the name of the colorway?
What you got?
Guys, bring in the funk.
Oh.
I'm wearing the Jordan 2.0s,
AJ2.
2.1s. You know, they got the
The air bubble.
air bubble on these ones.
The Night Riders.
Not your typical. You don't see these much, to be honest. These are in tribute to my son Mustafa.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
his first pair of Jordans are also Jordan 2s.
Hectic.
I know what's going on with the tongue. Looks different on
You
camera.
lose points for that.
Yeah.
Man, what points?
You lose points.
Oh yeah, they're very comfortable. They're not uncomfortable at all. They're
I gotta-
completely different to those
I
ones.
like the bubble. It looks very Terminator-like, that
No,
red.
Night Rider.
Yeah, he's obsessed with Night Rider. He's
I'm
calling them
going
the Night Rider
Terminator.
shoes now.
What do you mean Terminator? Where in Terminator did you see red?
The eyes.
What eyes?
Terminator's
T1000.
eye is red.
But that remind. If anything, you could say it looks like Cyclops from X-Men.
Okay. Cyclops from X-Men.
Yeah, that's better.
High five.
High five.
Very nice.
Yalla, your turn.
So what's the name of the colorway?
White and red.
What? So what do we got here? We got the
G-string shoes.
Jordan 20s
The Sydney Mardi Gras.
with the laser cuts, designs on the outside. The
Show your thumb, Moors.
no, the thumbs get hidden.
Show your thumb.
No,
Shousy bits.
we got the paws on the bottom.
Very nice.
Very nice. Not sure
Design's
about
nice. Design's nice. That strap though, I agree with yours.
Yeah, that's why I got hidden away.
You got that G-string thing happening.
So I'm gonna cut the top part and make it look like.
You
this
know they
one.
came in a low, yeah?
Yeah,
Lowe's
I've
look-
never seen it.
Lows look fire. They don't have the strap. It's basically that with no strap.
It looks like this.
With no strap, yeah.
You can't see the strap.
Yeah. They're fire, man. Very nice.
It's a shame you can't get into the detail. Can you see the detail of the laser?
Yeah.
It looks nice. Also, you got another MJ Lego right there that I've never seen before. Looks Halloweenish. So yeah, not bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs on those lasers. There's a whole breakdown I think he gave to Oprah when
I
they
love this
first released.
Colorway, man.
Yeah, when they first released. So there's a lot of his childhood in there, etched in. Interesting shoe. Great storytelling shoe. Good design. Very sleek. I like it. Good stuff.
Beautiful. The Jordan 20s, North Carolina. What are you doing?
What's up? Because he was using
You
it
can
for
put
the...
it back down if you want.
That's alright. He can hear me, yeah?
We can't hear you.
So that was a kicks check. Guys, vote. Let us know who won. I think it's got to be Kyrie. Ramadan Re. I mean, come on. So,
Jordans, North Carolina all the time.
couple more things to touch on. So I'll leave that one to last. So Ingram, did you see that injury?
Yeah, I hate
That
that.
looked way worse
Than what it
than
is.
what it is. So it's
Hyperextension. Bone bruise.
it looked like a hyperextension, but it's after it's been assessed, it's just a bone contusion. I mean, not just, but it's a bone contusion on his left knee. He's expected to miss at least 2 weeks. That's what they're suggesting. It's a shame. I mean, Pelicans were on a bit of a run.
Yeah, he's been underproducing though.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
he's
just
been
about to say
shocking.
that.
He's
It's
been shocking.
Zion that's been dragging him.
Yeah, not today.
But
I mean,
they'll need him. They'll need
yeah,
him in
definitely,
the playoffs.
definitely. Last season though, he was balling out, man.
Yeah.
Literally balling out.
Yeah.
Now, this season has been like, especially the end of the season, like the second half,
Maybe it's a lingering injury that just finally decided to.
Maybe he's smoking too much dope,
did you see
bro.
how it happened?
No.
It was he got crossed over and the knee straight to the knee to knee. I think.
Yeah, it went back.
And it
went
bent
all the way
back. It was ugly.
So it looked like an
at.
emu.
He's just smoking too much dope. That's it. He's gone out there too
Was
high.
he really?
Yeah,
Because I think his eyes are just like
No,
that.
no, he's smoking dope. He's gone out there high.
He's related to Cheech and Chong.
Not.
Is he really?
I'm not criticizing it. I'm not saying anything wrong.
Cheech and Chong.
I'm not saying anything's wrong about it. You got the key? That's not the key.
Yeah, see, he does.
But I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. We're living in the NBA. We're living in 2024. Everybody's smoking dope.
2024.
But he's too much of a stoner.
So do you think it will ruin their chances, this injury? Do you think this?
I don't think they had chances.
Derail them?
They had no chance to win. You talk about the championship.
I mean, just being a contender is still a chance, right?
For me, being a contender means you have a legitimate chance of winning the championship. I don't think they have that.
Being in the postseason and being able to battle gives you,
if Chicago Bulls make the postseason, are they a contender?
Anyone's a contender.
Yeah, no, I don't say that. I don't say that. We view contenders differently then. See, I view contenders as legitimate people that can win the championship. Not all the teams that make it to the playoffs are actual contenders.
That's how I view you guys with the shoe kicks. Hey, you like that?
Man, you wear a G-string to a podcast. Mardi Gras was like 2 weeks ago, G.
To me, you guys are contenders.
Man, Jordan trolled him with those shoe releases.
Do you think Pels...
So with the Pelicans,
their chances?
I don't know, man. Look, but to be honest, I didn't see them come down round 2 anyway.
Yeah, right. No legitimate contender, I didn't think.
So speaking of,
well, I don't mean
that's fine. Let's move on to injuries. One thing I did notice, and I was wondering how big of a stat this is, but AD, he's got to have like the record for showing up on that injury list. Week in, week out, day in, day out. I mean, he's always questionable. The guy's got
the glass.
The guy should basically just change his name on the back of his jersey to just a question mark at this stage. I mean,
it is ridiculous.
I don't think I've ever seen the amount of times someone's had.
I don't like AD
as
a player. I don't like him. I never did. I didn't like the way they tried to throw him into stardom by chucking him on the Olympics team when he hadn't been played one single NBA game. So I never liked him from the get-go. You? Did you like that?
I loved him at New Orleans. Thought he was a premier player.
No.
Him and DeMarcus Cousins. We said it last week.
Twin Towers.
Crazy plays together.
Hard.
I don't like him at LA. I think the league. I think the media expects too much of him to be a player that they expect him to be.
He started his career like that. They threw him into the Olympics team before playing NBA.
There's a difference. There's a whole different game when you're playing with LeBron James. A whole different level of expectations that are put on you. It's you're letting LeBron James down. You're letting the Lakers down. When you're at New Orleans, it's not you're letting anybody down except for the fans in New Orleans. You are the guy.
Mm.
When you're touted from day one as this is the new head of the Lakers, he's going to take the reins, and you're not getting the reins, and then you're getting blamed for not taking the reins. Like you're not going to progress how you should progress. He's not even the top. People were saying last season and the season before, he's one of the top players in the league, one of the best big men in the league. He probably is the best big man. No. How many big men in the league are way better than him?
Yeah, I
mean, Sabonis did it again. Another game that he couldn't beat Sabonis. Like the streak continues.
Yeah, that record against the best big men is very bad against AD.
And people.
It's harsh though. I mean, I feel bad for him that this is the type of scrutiny that he gets.
But this will happen when you're playing there.
Yeah, it's true.
When you're paired,
those lights are shiny in LA.
Yeah.
Those lights are bright in LA.
Even brighter in.
So, what was your take on AD?
Bronland.
You didn't give us your take
about what him being. I just said it's just amazing to have him questionable all the time.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he's not the only one.
I understand Bron because he's 110 years old.
Yeah,
but he's still there.
Bron's the GTG king.
Yeah, that's it. But he's still rocking up.
Hey, he's still got Embiid that does it. He's been doing it all season as well.
Embiid's injured.
Yeah, but he's been doing it all season long. Who else you got?
Yeah, I mean, look,
when you've
got these young bulls coming back.
Curry's been doing it.
Nah, not as much.
When you've got these young bulls playing on a dislocated finger, I mean, come on, man. just like that. I gotta give credit to, we're done with the '90s guy. He playing with a
What's his
boo-boo
name?
on his foot.
Yeah.
He playing with a boo-boo on his foot. Why are you out there playing with a boo-boo?
He'd play with anything.
So yeah, look,
On
that's
his
just my
foot.
take on it. But speaking of injuries, look, we're gonna just quickly transition into some of these dirty plays and just the refs in
Don't
general.
even start.
No,
Dirty
it
play.
has to be called out.
Compton's
Has to be
finest.
called
My
out.
man
Listen,
Debo.
listen.
Check this out. Have
I
you
didn't
seen
watch
this?
this game, but I saw this highlight. I didn't understand.
What the hell is
You
that?
gangster.
Wait. So hold on. Pause it here. You're a Chicago Bulls fan. right?
Yes, I am.
Can you please explain what was the purpose of this?
Let it be known?
What? That
What
he's
be
losing?
known?
Yeah, I
They're
know.
losing
It.
to a rubbish team.
It. Oh, hold up. They ain't rubbish.
Okay, they've got a chance to make the
They've,
playoffs.
they've been,
All right.
not even
Hold on,
that. Not even
hold on,
that.
hold
Not
on.
even that. I'm not even
Hold
talking
on.
about that.
They don't even have
Take an
Sengun.
eye test. They have a.
Sengun's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you on about? They're not rubbish.
I
They're not
love-
rubbish.
I love
They're not
Ayo.
the
Did you
Spurs.
see Ayo?
They're not. They're not. They're not
Ayo's
Spurs
like,
or
oh man,
Detroit
hurry
or-
up, man. I want to
Come on,
shoot. I want to shoot. He's just out there shooting.
Houston Rockets are not a team to be losing to.
You do remember we're Chicago Bulls at the moment.
And
Who have we got?
Look at this. Look at your standings. Compare your standings, man. You guys shouldn't be losing to them, and then be reacting like that. It's only what is it? A 9-point game.
We've lost to them before. We're not. We're
Bro,
not reacting like that for
this
losing.
is what I mean. It's a 9-point.
I don't know how
game.
that's a flagrant two, though.
What the hell's that?
I know that's a flagrant
No,
two.
man, that's a
Listen,
non-basketball
They gave him
play.
a flagrant two.
Yoz, listen. It's a 9-point game.
He's moving into him. His arms not extended. It's
Listen,
against his own body.
bro.
Are you going to defend this play?
Yeah, 100%.
He's
Listen,
seriously
I'm not
gonna
saying it's not a
defend this.
foul. I'm saying it's not a
Listen.
flagrant two.
It's a 9-point game. 9-point game. Okay. With 6 minutes left. What was the purpose of that?
You don't know
foul?
if this guy said something to him. You'd have no idea
I
what
don't
was said on the
care.
court. What'd you do? What did you say last
I
week?
don't
If someone says something
care.
about my mum, I don't care about the Lions. I'm boofing them in the court.
Yeah. Hey, you said last
it.
week.
You said it.
This is if he said it last week. Why is he retaliating now?
What do you mean him?
No. He's
I'm
saying
saying he
you
could've-
said it last week.
Yeah.
So
I-
you- that's the point.
But
You're criticizing
listen,
someone for
okay,
something you
hold
said
on, hold
on the
on.
show you would do.
I can't listen to exactly
Sir?
what I said. Look, listen to what I said.
I know what you said.
What did I say?
I said that I would leave it between the lines and do it after the court. because
Now,
that's
what
how
did
am.
I
You said
say?
I wouldn't. I would give him a cuff right there on the court.
Right
and
there
if he
on
said-
the spot.
On the spot. If
Okay.
he said something,
All right.
how do you know he hadn't
So
just
I
said
said,
something to him?
wait. So I said right there on the spot. Can you rewind it?
Yeah, so Murad's saying that
Has to be instantaneous.
Yes.
this looks like if something was said, it happened way before
On the last
this.
possession, maybe.
Yeah,
So why is he
so
retaliating
he's
now?
saying he would
probably
have
said-
gone.
he probably scored, said something.
That's fine.
Got
That's
the
fine.
inbounds.
But
like,
Murad,
all right, I'll get you.
Murad's
I'll get you
saying,
back.
Moz is saying he would go straight up to the guy and deal with it right there and then. He wouldn't wait for the next play. He wouldn't wait for the
Exactly.
next
I
play.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Bruh,
but see,
I would not.
how would he deal with it? Would
I
he
would
make it?
not
Would he make it?
bother-
Look, would he try and make it look defensive play, or would he just hit
No.
him?
I'll just beat the
And
shit out
that's
of him.
why it's done differently.
So hang on.
Because if you're playing the game, you have to make it look as least
No, man.
natural as
No.
possible.
How is it?
This guy's saying he would
No.
hit him like this.
Okay,
He
that's
did
fine,
the
that's
same
There's a
thing.
difference.
Yeah, if you're comparing it to
Yeah.
what Murad
All right,
was
cool.
saying. Okay, but having said that, okay, coming back to the point, this was a dirty play right in front of the
It's
ref.
not
This was-
just a dirty.
this
Play. It's
was
a
made-
stupid play.
This
It's
was
9 points.
this was meant to
Jalen
make
Green's a bitch.
this was meant to make a statement.
Brother, it's 9 points. I don't understand the headspace.
Because you don't know what was said. Something has happened for him
All
to
I
react
know-
that way.
All I know,
Bro, this is the person that you're calling D-boy
He is Debo.
hitting the game winner.
What is Debo?
It's DeMar
Do you forget who
DeRozan's
Debo
time.
is? Do you forget who
He's
Debo
going to
is?
take us to the promised
I didn't
land.
say that. You said that.
He ain't
I
taking you
disagreed.
to shit
I
other than
disag-
to ejection.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
I disagreed.
Come
You
on,
said,
man.
"Is this him getting ready for?" I
okay,
said,
okay.
"Oh."
Let's bring
Okay,
it back.
this
Let's bring it back.
maturity.
Let's
remember.
bring it back.
Debo's a bully. Debo bashes people.
Guys,
Well, obviously he
guys.
didn't.
Let me bring it back.
He
Let me bring
waited.
it back. Let me
It's
bring it back.
softy.
Okay. So this was a non-basketball play.
To a
Okay.
degree.
This was not in the spirit of the game.
It was immature.
From a FIBA perspective,
Immature.
this warrants the highest
He's getting suspended.
call.
He's
This
getting
would
Same
be
FIFA.
this would be an ejection, straight ejection.
He's getting
Okay?
suspended.
Now,
He did get a straight ejection.
yeah,
That's
that's fine.
suspended,
That's fine. I'm
suspended.
saying that
No.
it
Yeah,
warrants
2
it.
games.
It's a non-basketball play.
Yeah.
There was lead up, and there was
There was no wind up.
there was definitely wind up.
He didn't wind anything. He was
But he
running.
winded half
he
court
ran.
up.
He ran to
Okay,
him.
no problem, no problem.
Had his
No
hand
problem.
against
you only
his
need
body.
Two conditions. You only
But-
need 2 conditions.
yeah,
You only
so it
need
wasn't
2
a
conditions.
wind
It
up.
was
It was
unsportsmanlike.
out of the spirit of the game
And unnecessary.
and excessive force. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's suspension.
Not
Okay.
suspension.
Yes. It gets reviewed. No,
yeah,
no,
but that alone is not
No,
a
the
review
new
for
rule
suspension.
is-
a wind up
Yeah.
and a
Listen,
follow
no,
through
no,
is
no.
a suspension.
Point
the new
is-
rule is ejection gets automatic review.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's
Point
a-
is, this was completely belligerent. Okay, there was absolutely no doubt
Yeah,
about
they're
it.
going to look at it and suspend him.
Now, I just want to transition from this. The reason I brought this up, okay, is this is one side of the coin, the extreme side. Then there's recently, so we spoke about it in a previous podcast about how the
Where's
NBA.
third quarter? I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell
Why
is
do you
he
think
doing?
I'm saying something must have been
So
said?
he was shooting poorly. He was shooting poorly.
Yeah, but that can't be
He
the
was
sole
getting
reason he
he
shot
was-
poorly before.
He was getting frustrated. Okay. For some reason, he just wasn't.
Excuses, bro.
It wasn't hitting.
Excuses.
It wasn't hitting this game. Okay. So he decided he's going to hit.
You think that's done just because he wasn't shooting well?
He was frustrated. Yeah.
but you
leading
think
up
that?
to it. I
Do you
don't
know how many bad shooting games he's had? He's never
there-
reacted that way.
There would have been something
Yeah,
as well.
a young
Yeah.
little shit like Jalen Green.
So-
Like surely something.
I mean,
was
the
said.
only thing I can think of is Jalen Green just had announced that he's having a baby with some 40-year-old
Yeah, I remember
cougar.
that,
I'm wondering if that's Damar's mum or his sister or something.
yeah.
Like
That's a bit of a leap.
that's the type of action I would expect
It's
from
a bit
that.
of a leap, man.
Right? The NBA's shift with the refereeing, they're allowing a lot more physicality. My view is they're just not calling the right calls. They're not making the calls that should be called with regards to fouls in particular. And they're claiming that they're making the game more physical and that's a better thing. You've still got to call the fouls. Okay, they're fouls. Just leaving them and saying that, oh, we're allowing the game to be more physical. That's not the way you approach it. Where the offense is creating the contact and you allow that to continue, that's fine. But if someone's taking a 3-pointer and dude takes not one, but 2 arms in front of a referee
It's a foul any day.
in
of
the
week.
act of shooting, make that call.
Unless the
What
ball's
are you
moving.
doing? This whole you've swung completely in the opposite direction. The pendulum has swung complete to the extreme side. I really get frustrated with how complicated they're trying to make this. Just call the right calls, like Uncle Rick says, Uncle Dick, Uncle Rick Barry,
Is it Rick Barry? What's his last name?
Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
It is
Just make the call.
Golden
Make
State
the
Warrior.
call.
Mr. Barry.
If it's travel, call the travel. If it's foul, call a foul. It's just as simple as that. Just make the calls as they should be, as per the rule book.
I mean,
Okay? This whole trying to make it more competitive and, allowing more physicality and this and that. Allow it in the scheme in the framework of the rule books. Don't allow it external to it where you're just making bad calls.
I will say one thing though. If the contact's happening, like I do like that they're focusing on stopping the 3-point continuation thing. Sometimes they're going to get it wrong, just like sometimes majority of the time they've got it wrong with allowing it to happen. Like for the past how many seasons now, we're just seeing bullshit, like bullcrap continuations.
Yeah.
I mean, when James Harden started doing it and we had to crack down that side swiping movement thing, I do like that they're stomping down on it because it's going to stop them from trying to sucker that off-screen shot so much.
Mhm.
But as Rick Barry also said, they're moving. A lot of them are moving screens, so that contact should actually be on the offense.
Mhm.
While it looks like you're fouling, the offense, but it's actually the moving screen that's facilitating
In
that
some
contact.
cases, they're pushing
So,
that player into
yeah.
the own player.
And that's a lot of the times where they're saying that no foul. Or if they're hitting your arms after that ball's released, that's a non-foul, bro.
Yeah,
That ball's released,
The rule
it's
is in the
after the
act of
shot.
shooting. It's a
Yeah.
very clear
Yeah,
definition.
but it
of
used
the
to
act of
always be
shooting.
after the shot. Once the ball is released, if it's a foul, it's not a shooting foul. It's a side ball. Shot will
The
count.
definition of the act of shooting is there. So
which would
that doesn't need to be a confusing part.
What
It's
doesn't?
defined, the act of shooting rule. The issue is when they're in the act of shooting and the foul has been committed and they're just not calling it because they've been told by, Big
NBA
Papa,
to crack down on this.
Big Papa Adam, Big Papa Silver,
Your mate.
allow more fouls, don't call as many fouls. You're doing it the wrong way.
A disservice.
Don't call the fouls that shouldn't be called. Don't call the ticky-tacky fouls. Don't call the
But see,
stupid fouls that if you just let it go, it would have played out.
But
you know,
see, those
the
ones
minimal
are.
contact.
A lot of people look at those ones as the ticky-tacky fouls because you see a lot of
Taking
the offense.
both arms
No,
out
I'm not
in the
saying
act
that
of
one in
shooting.
particular.
That's the example I'm
saying-
talking about.
I'm saying the continuation in general
So
because a lot of them are forced.
the continuation isn't the point of this. Like, it's not the main contention here. Okay, the continuation, I have no issues with them not calling that. Okay, or not allowing that. No problem. Okay, I have my own understanding of it, and I think FIBA is very, you know, they do that very well with allowing the continuation. Sometimes it's very long continuation, and that's fine because they've gathered the ball, they're in the act of shooting, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the blatant no calls when it should have been a foul. It's a clear foul. Make the call. Simple as that. And we're seeing too many cases of it now. It's happening in the past couple of weeks. I've counted at least 5 or 6 instances, and I haven't watched all the games. At least 5 or 6 instances. In some cases, it's happened back to back. Back to back plays, both sides.
I've told you, it's happening in the whole league.
And
this season specifically.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. What are you paying the refs for? To stand there and not call things? I mean,
they get paid to do what they're told.
And we're getting sick of seeing these referees, you know, being personalities on their own. But Moz, what do you think?
Good stuff, Tony Brothers.
There is a rule that I haven't looked into, which is interesting. I don't know, maybe I misunderstood the ref telling the player, I can't remember which game it was once the buzzer's gone, if there's a foul committed, they don't call it.
No call.
Is that the rule?
Yeah,
but this was in the game still. It wasn't finished.
Yeah, but you're right about that. As soon as, like, if someone's took a shot and it's at 1 second and you're still in the air and the buzzer goes and they come down, you come down on top of them, it's no foul. No foul, no call.
Yeah, but that's not the right call. But even in the NBA, I mean, sack the NBA. That's a foul still.
Not after the buzzer.
In the NBL,
if the buzzer's gone,
NBA,
it's no foul.
Yeah, in the NBA, that's an entertainment issue. Okay, I bet you their rule book.
Are you sure in FIBA it's? I'm pretty sure it's the same through and through. As in, after the buzzer goes, FIBA, there can be no call.
No, the active shooting is the active shooting. It's clearly defined
within the game of basketball.
It doesn't matter.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
If you're still in the active shooting,
because I've heard that as well, many times.
If you're still in the active shooting, if you're considered an active shooting
within the time of the game,
it doesn't matter.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
You can't call something outside the game.
No, they're in the active shooting until they're finished. Then it's finished.
No, but that's not the truth.
Until the play is finished.
So with NBA, it's the active shooting is finished when the buzzer's finished.
Yeah, that's the NBA.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know the nuance of how they call it. I don't know if it's clear black and white, or if there's a grey area.
The whole thing sounds nonsense to me.
Listen,
someone comes and straight up fly kicks someone on, you know.
Yeah, that's what the example I was just
that's
about to bring up.
Dumbassery right there.
Yeah, because if the buzzer's gone, then like to this guy's point, you can get charged. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like, do you take advantage of that if you're a defender then?
In the NBA, definitely. Yeah, take their legs out.
So
hey, this comes back to what I was saying before about the 1%.
So I'm
if that's how you're going to call it,
I'm wondering why isn't that taken advantage of more?
Because often? I don't think that's the true rule book thing. I think that's just one of those unspoken.
Well,
things.
Why do you think it's not the true rule book?
Because the act of shooting, is still considered. They're trying to protect.
No, yeah.
They're trying to protect the shooters. Okay?
Of course.
Within the game or outside of the game, I don't think that makes a difference.
I agree. If the shot's taken before the buzzer, then even if the buzzer's gone and that shot's still like live, then you should call the foul until that play is completed.
I've never seen in any league. I'm just saying from my eyes.
No problem. Let's run through a thought experiment. Okay.
What?
But I wanted to hear his point. What was
no problem. Go, yalla.
No, what was it?
No, it doesn't matter. Go, yalla.
Okay, when you were reading, we already said this. Okay,
what?
The dumbassery that'll come from such a stupid take. Okay, someone's taking a shot. Okay, with the clock winding down. Okay, you time your fly kick exactly at
that's just insane.
-0.
Yeah, it's just,
okay.
You talk about extremes. That's extremes.
That's my point. That's the type of dumbassery. You take
assault.
You take the thought experiment to its logical conclusion.
There's a foul and there's an assault.
No problem. You want to go all the way? I'll slide right under them and wait for them to fall on me. Like,
Yeah, because
Do
but, but that's why that separates idiots from professional basketball
but
players.
that's the dumbassery of the
yeah,
rule.
but you're not hiring an idiot to play in the NBA.
No, see, now you just common
You
sense is
use-
not common.
yeah, but
Common
that's the
sense
thing.
is not common.
You're using an outlandish example, which you attack us for on many episodes.
How's it outlandish?
Because nobody's going to do that.
Zaza.
Hang on.
Zaza did it.
He's
Cool.
not
talking
going to
about-
fly kick someone to land under him. He's
No,
going to put his
but
foot under
You're
him.
talking
Yeah.
about.
but
You're
it's
talking
There's
about
many
the
players
same.
that do that.
You're
That's
talking about
a
the
different
same
example.
league that had to change their rules because players were exploiting the rules to get more fouls.
Yeah.
And you can't see a possible scenario where someone's going to take
Fly
advantage.
kick somebody.
Hold
That
on, I
was
have seen
one
the fly
extreme
kick.
example.
Lie under them while they shoot.
Take their legs
Hold on,
out.
hold
You don't
Land
think they're
in their-
outlandish?
Go in their landing
I have seen
space.
the fly kick.
Go in their
Drummond-
landing
Drummond
space.
did
Take
the
out their
fly
feet.
kick. No,
Not protect the
Need-
shooter.
Drummond-
Everything,
Drummond did the fly
everything,
kick as well.
everything that does not protect the shooter, mild or extreme. You're telling me that a player is not going to take advantage of it?
Mate, I'm just telling you what the rules were from what we know. Like when the
Yeah.
buzzer goes, you can't get fouled after the buzzer.
Yeah.
And
Like I've never seen it happen in my life.
I bring the point up is why aren't players taking advantage of it?
Yeah,
That's
Because
that's
a
I
another
don't,
story.
I don't think
It's
it's
another
So,
story.
for example, let's go back to how we started this podcast with Ramadan Irving or Ree.
Ramadan Ree.
So that game-winning shot, right? If I was the defender like Jokic, I'd be running at the guy.
Speed tackle, gored him.
No, I'd be running at the guy like a bear. Both hands.
I know
up,
you would.
You know what I mean? Because I know
You'd
once
be
that,
roaring too.
no, because yeah, exactly. I'll be yelling like a crazy person, and the reason is if I know the rule is if I tackle him, land on him, whatever after the buzzer, and it's not gonna get called.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Then
That's the
why
type
aren't
of dumb
people doing it?
assery that will happen from such a rule. So I don't believe
People
it's in
aren't
the
in the
rule
league to hurt
book.
each other.
I don't believe
Yeah,
it's
but I'm not
completely in the
hurting
rule
him.
book.
I'm stopping him from.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you are
doubt-
in the league to hurt people. There's a difference. You've
I don't
admitted it.
doubt. I don't doubt that refs might collude to not call it, or maybe it's an unspoken rule, just like what players have where they don't shoot it in the
So you
last
don't
dying
think so you don't think
seconds.
it's a real thing?
But I don't believe, because the act of shooting. Okay,
cool.
they've defined the act of shooting.
That's cool.
Okay,
You're talking outside the NBA now.
the definition.
No, he's talking
the
to-
NBA,
he's
the
even talking to
have
NBA,
defined
bro.
the act of shooting as well.
So this is why I said I can't really comment on it because I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a black and white rule or if it's grey area. So
Yeah.
we can't. All of us can't.
Yeah,
Really,
but what did I say to
We
you?
have
I
to
said,
look
from
into
my
it
understanding, from all the whole time I've watched basketball, I've always understood that as well.
Yeah.
That as soon as the buzzer goes, and I've seen them try to review if the foul was committed within the clock.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't, they've waved it off
Yeah.
and they've given him no foul.
Oh, actually, there
Like,
was
I've seen that
example.
happen.
There was an example.
And it wasn't long ago.
Yeah, that KD one on the corner three, was it?
Was it KD?
Where they had that overtime. Shout out to Camille when me and Camille were heads up on fantasy. Do you remember?
I do remember not long ago. I don't remember if it was Durant.
I
I
ended up
remember there was a
winning
foul.
like
They were
1 point.
looking.
Yeah.
They were looking to see if the foul on the shot was committed after the buzzer had
Yes,
gone.
and it was
the buzzer
after?
and the buzzer had gone,
Yeah.
and they didn't award him the foul
Yes.
based on that.
Yes.
So there has to be a rule there. And this is why I'm saying I've always knew that this was like new from what I know.
But like
not
I
from
said,
100% that's the fact, but from what I've known of playing the game, you cannot get fouled after that whistle is blown. After that buzzer is blown.
Yeah, I still think it's got to do with the act of shooting, not so much the time.
Like
But
So why would they be looking at that then?
I don't know. I don't know.
There has to be something.
But are you going by what the commentator said or what
No,
the
I'm
refs
going by
said?
what the refs
no,
are saying.
refs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I
you know
don't
how the refs can
all I know
relay
is the act of shooting
to
is
the fans.
defined in all codes.
You keep saying that. Define it.
Act of shooting?
No.
Explain it.
Yeah, I like that. No, listen.
The act of shooting is exactly
I
that.
thi- I
It's
think-
Explain
what,
it.
what is what is defined, okay, as the player being in the act of shooting. Because if the player is in the act of shooting, then he is there's protections with fouls.
Can I ask you as a ref something? When you were learning refereeing or doing your course or whatnot, did you ever learn about the foul after the shot?
Act of shooting.
No, have
That's
you
what
ever?
we're talking about.
I'm asking you. Did you? This is an
Yeah,
honest
yeah,
question.
I am.
What
I'm
was the explanation?
The
Hold
problem
on,
is you're not
Yanni, Habib,
you're not understanding my answer.
I am understanding, but you just keep saying active shooting. I'm saying I want you to elaborate. When you were learning about fouling after the shot, when someone would call
Yeah.
foul after the shot, so there's no free throws. What did you learn about that?
So we're talking about illegal contact, okay, to a player in active shooting or not in active shooting.
Yeah. And what would you define after the shot?
All right, so let's take shooting out
If
of
the
the
ball's
equation.
still flying, no, I want to know. This
Yeah,
is
hold
only for because I know also the evolution of rules have changed. Since when we were growing up, we used to get a lot of after the shot calls, so we didn't get the continuation of basket. We'd get the basket, but not free
We'll
throws
use the
to
same
go along with it.
scenario.
We'd get a side out.
We'll use the same scenario, but because we're going around in circles about shooting.
We just started.
Wait. Same scenario, but the foul is occurred on the player they're trying to box out.
No, but that's
After the buzzer.
Yeah, but I just want to know what he.
See, that's not on the active shooting no more.
Foul has occurred on the if the clock's still running. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if the clock's still running, 100%.
After the buzzer.
No, it's no foul.
So, for example, the shot's gone up, right? The guy's still in the motion of shooting. There's a guy underneath the board ready to get the rebound, and he gets grabbed and thrown to the floor.
While the buzzer's
The
gone.
shot's expired.
After the buzzer.
No, there's no foul.
Yeah, because after the buzzer.
So then that's it. That's problem
Nabs
solved.
is pretty much saying it only makes sense to protect the shooter. Why would you have to protect all the other guys?
No.
So because he's
No.
saying he's saying the
He's
shooter.
not saying that.
No, but he's saying the shooter.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's saying the shooter
Because
still.
the active shooting pretty much stops the clock.
I know. He's saying the shooter's still live. His
Yes,
shooter's still in the air. He hasn't landed. So if he can be fouled after the clock,
Why can't
he be fouled?
That's not how it works. Yeah.
That's what he's asking though.
But that's what I'm
Because
asking.
the active shooting is what stops the clock, not the illegal.
But with
No,
contact.
the
NBA
clock stops the clock.
So with the NBA, it's
Active shooting stops the clock in terms of what happens within that period.
Oh, I know that.
to
But if
the
clock-
shooter only.
Yeah, anything
if-
that happens after that, because act of shooting. So
Okay,
it's
so
specific to the shooter.
My question was to you though.
But do we know this 100% or
From FIBA, yeah. So
okay? But
it's only
NBA,
active
do we know if there's a grey area or it's black
some,
and white?
There is some.
We saw it with the shooter the other day.
Yeah, but we know refs, man.
There is-
they sometimes.
So hang on.
Not
So
in a review. They have to justify why they've reviewed it that way.
Look what they did
And then
to
they have to
LeBron
do the
with
2-minute
that
report.
there's
three-point shot.
unsportsmanlike.
That wasn't a 3.
There was a gap, bro.
His toe was on the line. What are you
No.
talking about? We all saw LeBron
Which one was this?
when he complained. His toe was on the line.
Yeah.
That was a 2.
I don't know.
He stopped it where his toe wasn't on the line, but then when he elevated, his toe was on the
he
line.
touched the line.
Okay.
He touched
Like,
the line.
Just like KD,
Like
except
I said,
a little bit less.
No,
Like I said,
KD
in-
was a bit.
But
more.
why are we
Yeah.
bringing this up?
He
Like I
brought that
said,
up.
like I said before, if he was wearing his LeBron 16s, that wouldn't have happened because he's got
Okay.
such a
But-
big bend.
But anyway, so the grey area. What is there a grey area for the NBA rule, or we don't know?
No. So the fouls committed, illegal contact or flagrant contact happening after the shot is expired, it can have other repercussions like suspensions and things like this. But in terms of the gameplay, no.
So the game's completely finished. Okay,
Finished.
that's it. I don't know what the ring around the rosy was.
Exactly.
I wasn't contesting.
No, I don't know why this discussion expanded
So-
to what it did.
So that was pretty much it. The last thing I wanted to make a point, and I don't know if it's contentious or not. We mentioned it off camera. I believe we're in an area or we're in an era where Mr. Adam Silver Surfer Silver has created an environment where he is essentially inputted 3 postseasons within one season. And what I mean by that is the postseason environment. So we've got the in-season tournament, which was, for all intensive purposes, a great success from an entertainment perspective. You know, even the players, you've got multiple accounts of players saying how they felt about the in-season tournament. Even though they weren't sure, they were excited, they played hard. We got a lot of good basketball early on in the season when it's normally quite dead. Then we've got the play-in tournament. What's the...
Playing.
So there was the in-season tournament, then the play-in, and then the postseason. So we've got essentially 3 postseason environments in the one season. Genius stroke from Adam Silver. And I think there's more to come from these types of moves from Adam Silver.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought I thought about it this week, and I thought I'd throw it out there to you guys to comment on that, how you feel about what I've said there.
Well, with the in-season tournament in particular, you heard a lot of players saying it felt like the playoffs. So
there's postseason one.
Yeah, so after the in-season tournament, you could clearly see some maturity gains from young players, and it's done wonders for young teams. After this, in particular, look at the Pelicans, for example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a perfect example of how
Pacers.
they came out
Pacers.
from the season. Yeah, the Pacers, in particular, the defense, like they knew it was a weakness, and they came out in season and worked on it. And look how stronger the defense is, and vice versa. And now you've got the playing tournament, which has been a success for multiple years now. It's established. It's considered now the norm. Whereas when it first got brought in, there was disgruntled ex-NBA players, i.e., I think Shaq didn't like it, Chuck didn't like it,
LeBron didn't like it.
LeBron didn't like it,
And saved LeBron.
And now, like it's become the norm. So they all like
and
it.
Then you've got the straight up postseason.
And then you got the straight up postseason. So
playoffs. Genius.
It's engaged the average fan longer.
Genius stroke.
But I will say this: the interruption with the All-Star disengages the fan.
Yeah.
So now you've got that gap from post All-Star to the playing tournament, where your average fan is again disengaged. So he needs to rectify that gap there.
Good point.
I always think post All-Star game, that's the time the basketball gets exciting, because that is where you start seeing teams make their push, that need to make that push, and teams that need to get that seeding and ranking. It's always the best basketball time comes after the All-Star break. That's previous to that. Before that, it's pretty much before the in-season tournament and all that. It was just, that's where it starts to get boring until Christmas Day, and you have the Christmas Day games and stuff, and Halloween, not Halloween, Christmas Day games and Thanksgiving games and stuff like that.
New Year's
it gets a bit exciting there because people want to show out, usually get some good games on those days. Right. But historically, after the All-Star game, that's where you start seeing people really play ball.
Ideally, yes. But I don't know.
Look at the Lakers right now. Look at LeBron now. He's balling out, bro. Every game.
I think the innovations is brought in, although probably one can argue that there's probably other ways of doing it. A lot of people have speculated on different things, non-traditional. No, in terms of the excitement and bringing, the excitement to the league. But I think they're genius strokes, but I look forward to seeing more of Adam Silver's,
ingenuity,
innovations, and I don't want to see more gambling deals and silly things like that. I don't want to see stupid ref calls and no calls that should be called. But everything else, I mean, it's exciting to see new areas that Adam Silver's willing to go.
Just to touch back on Yossi's point of the league supposed to be competitive after the All-Star. This year in particular, I've noticed that this play-in standings in particular aren't going to vary much, because it's going to be the same players, same teams regardless, because there's that much of a gap between 10 and 11 on both.
But it's also seeding for all the other teams.
Yes, so the other tems,
especially in the East,
the other teams, they're the only games you're going to be watching. So my point is, it's not going to, like, for example, if the average fan is a fan of a team that isn't part of that situation, is not going to be engaged.
Yeah, most of those, look at the fan bases of those teams that aren't, like, we're talking about what, the Spurs, the Detroit Pistons,
the Rockets,
like their fan bases aren't really the premier fan bases
Brooklyn
anymore.
Nets, but still have celebs showing up to Brooklyn Nets.
Probably because there's nothing better to do than catch a game in Brooklyn.
Well, they've got New York Knicks.
New York.
Yeah, there you go.
So look, that I still think there's work to be done there.
But Nets weren't really a big fan base anyway.
I think this season in particular is showing us how much of a gap there is between.
We should relegate teams. Is that what you're thinking?
No, because there's
bring up some G League teams, relegate some NBA teams.
There's a too much of a gap between the playing teams and the teams outside the playing.
Yeah, it's because everyone's trying to tank.
So it's not doing service to the league. Put it that way.
I think the least games with more competitive teams at the moment is actually more beneficial because the more games you have on that are trash, people aren't watching them anyway. Like even during the season, like before you get to playoff, when you know your team's trash, like how many teams I disengage from the Bulls? When I'm like, okay, this season we've got nothing. I don't want to watch them win 3 or 4 games, be like, yeah, and then be like, yeah, we lose 20 more. Like I was watching Philly for a while. I'm a Bulls fan, but I was like, you know what? I'm back in Philly for the next few years to make a run, and I'm supporting them. But I was still a Bulls fan. But you usually would disengage from like how many? If Wemby wasn't at the Spurs right now, how many Spurs fans would be supporting another team this season just for the season?
That's what the term bandwagon is.
Yeah, but it's not. It does, but at the same time, we're not Americans, right? We don't live in a certain state, so we're not literally having to support our city or our state. We support teams that are exciting to us. This team's awesome.
I don't go for teams.
We don't go for any teams. You're the definition of bandwagon. Whoever's on the thing. Yeah,
no,
look at that.
I stated this, and I've
you go for players.
I go for players. And that was because of this whole trend of being able to just switch teams whenever they want.
Yeah, but see, that's only a new thing.
Yeah, well,
listen, like when we were growing up, you had a team. Like, I remember
before that,
shout out.
It was
Golden State.
It was just Chicago Bulls, and I've still got to this day my '90s Chicago Bulls jacket.
But you're not a Bulls fan.
Well, look.
As soon as Jordan's gone and Rose gone, that's it.
Listen, I'll be honest.
You're back when Rose was there, weren't
you? Listen, kind of. I was always a Melo fan from day one. Right. So listen, when Michael Jordan left the league after that last run, the last dance, whatever you want to call it, a lot of us stopped watching the NBA. Simply because it wasn't advertised in Australia anymore. Or not advertised, but it wasn't broadcast.
Was that 98?
Yeah, 98. So look, you remember?
Came back 2001.
You remember NBA used to be broadcasted for free on public TV.
Channel 10.
Yeah.
It's still late at night, like 2 a.m. Yeah.
No, in midday on Sundays.
Very early, but sometimes it's Saturday night or Sunday morning at like 12, 1 in the morning.
Because I had to.
So we used to sneak out and put the tape in.
Yeah. That we don't have that. We don't have that. You have to have paid TV. And before that, when Michael Jordan left, having paid TV meant you were a rich family.
But even then, it was ESPN games only. It wasn't all the games.
We used to get the TNT.
That's why it's good having and we're not promoting them, but it's good having the League Pass app because you get access to all the games, which is good.
Or illegally stream. It's free.
But I think we'll leave it there. Look, we're excited of all the innovations that Mr. Silver brings along, Mr. Silver. And I think that should do us for today. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what you guys think, what you guys want us to talk about. If you like what we do, support us. It's free. Like, share, subscribe.
Bang, bang.
Thanks again for watching. We thank you for your support. And until next time, peace.
We out.